Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave.
Today, Purple Day?
Why are you wearing purple?
This was not planned.
This isn't. Oh, it is purple.
You and I are both wearing purple golf shirts.
Yeah. And I mean, Anthony's not. Oh,
And-
wait.
Oh, look at that. He's wearing a King shirt.
Yeah.
Number, is that a Weber? That's a Weber. Number 4.
Yes, it is.
Number
Spud
4.
Weber. It's a Spud Weber.
Spud Weber.
Uh-huh.
Hey, were you on Twitter yesterday at all?
No, not really.
It was one of the best days on the site.
Because of the game or what else?
I mean, you had the finals and
Yeah.
everything that happened at night, and then you had other things going on in the daytime.
Okay.
There was an argument between two
Oh, yeah.
prominent figures.
I saw that text thread from the show, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably interesting, and I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
Ignorance is bliss.
you catch up at some point. It's
Eh.
no.
I'm not
Yeah.
too upset if I don't know what that is all about.
Well, today's the day.
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
This is one of the many check marks in a box that's probably very uncomfortable for you,
Ugh.
but also should be proud.
What did I say to my wife last night? Go get dinner.
Now.
Kitchen ain't gonna clean itself, lady.
Yeah.
But also, I actually, by the way, for the record, I cleaned the kitchen last night.
And usually cook.
And usually cook, yeah. That's why it's always funny when I make misogynistic comments like
Yeah.
that, because really, honestly, I'm
So funny.
yeah, it's so funny. I was waiting for it all week, and of course, we had the prerequisite pre-graduation day meltdown like yesterday evening.
By you or?
Yeah, it was me.
Okay.
I had the meltdown. And a meltdown, just tough.
You got a tough couple months ahead of you. So this is just another one. This is
Honestly, I share way too much.
Yeah.
I do, but I just don't know any other way. Here's what happened. This is yesterday going into today, going into August. Okay. So I left straight out of here because I had a doctor's appointment, right? Now they found this little a bump. A bump sounds too non-specific. Just like an ingrown hair, right?
okay.
On my neck. And
Whoa, it's gotten bigger. I'm just kidding.
and she goes, oh, okay, well, let's get you to dermatology then next week. And I go, okay, why? And she goes, well, it could be nothing, but we want to do a biopsy. I was like, wait, biopsy? What? And she goes, no, we have a better safe than sorry policy, da. And I say, and then fast forward to the end of the appointment, and I go, Doc, should I be worried this weekend about it? She goes, no, we just want to get there. And I go, well, let me ask you this. if I should be worried, would you tell me? And she's like on her way out the door, and she turns and she goes, I wouldn't tell you because I can't diagnose it. I'm not able to diagnose it. And I was like, are you serious?
I could already tell. Actually, I don't even know the answer she could have told you where you wouldn't have thought of it. Even if she said, I can give you 99.99999%.
Right.
Nothing to worry about. You're like, she didn't say 100.
She didn't say 100. So, not to make light of anything, but
right.
I could have a terrible disease right now. We don't know. Won't know.
Could have absolutely nothing.
Could have absolutely nothing.
It was an ingrown hair.
I will update because I do think it's something. I know, right?
It's like a magic trick.
It's something like that. I don't know. By the way, just the dumbest thing to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a
stress bump.
Stress bump would be fine.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
I don't either, but let's go with it. So there's that. And then I think that was kind of in my head all day. And then we just kind of, there's a back and forth last night, and there's been some things that she's been slacking on. And
nice parting gift.
And then we started this conversation where it's like, look, are you really ready for this? Are you ready? Because we're betting a lot of money on you being ready. We're throwing you out there. We're doing this, and going back and forth. And then her mother gets involved, and then we're all, and
just so you know, UCLA would have been so caring, nurturing,
so easy.
And just like let her ease in. But that other school,
right,
off to the wolves.
I blame them.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, look, a couple things. First off, she's graduating tomorrow today. I don't want
big day.
Let's not do this.
Okay.
Secondly, I don't know how what did I say to Melissa last night? I said, this is like getting the greatest massage you've ever gotten in your life while somebody is nailing a stake into your foot, the bottom of your foot. Like,
I hate those.
Hate it. You ever done that's not a great
yeah. You have to pay more for it, and I usually don't do that one.
Right. Like, I'm blessed. My child is amazing and great, and she's doing all this, and it's every parent's. But then also, she's leaving in 2 months. She's the light and the spark of the house, and she also does really dumb things. Still, she still sticks her finger in a cereal bowl just to see what it does. She still moves around so fast that she knocks trays over or can't keep her room clean, or all this stuff. And so there was a moment we were at when she was younger. Well, we were younger, but she was very young, and it was swimming lessons. And you have the floaties and all that. Well, there's a moment where during the lessons as they progress where you'll hold her, she's face down in the pool ready to go, or whatever. It's not underwater, but you get my point. And I'm holding her hips, and then it's like, okay, Dad, let her go. And the floaties are off for the first time. You got to let her go. And then if she swim, she knows what to do. She swim great. And if she doesn't, you're supposed to give it a second to let her recover, even if she kind of goes underwater a little bit.
That's scary.
And then if it ain't working out, you jump in and you grab her. Right. I said, this is what's going on. This is what I feel like I'm dealing with. The floaties are about to come off, and I got to let you go, but also, are you ready?
Right.
And I'm not there to get her. So yeah, it's a day. And then on top of that, the reason I'm in the golf shirt is my dad, the Rotary Club golf tournaments at Ansel Hoffman today. The Easter Seals tournament, longest running.
You've played in that forever.
Played in that forever. There was no, I can't be like, can you move the graduation, please? It actually works out though. I'm leaving early. Graduation's at 9.
When's the
golf? Registration's at 11. Shotgun is at shotgun. If you don't know what that means, everybody tease on. At 12:30.
Okay, so you'll be able to do both.
100%. And then families in town, the Korean barbecue tonight, and all that. And then tomorrow, the presents and
busy weekend. Well, I will say, as I was about a year ago at this time. My son, the J-Man, aged out of his program. It had its own little individual graduation day, because when his was supposed to be scheduled, I think maybe the family all had COVID or something. We all had, it was like whatever. Anyway, he got his own day. And so it was really cool. Small family gathering at the school, aged out, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, would you guys like to speak? I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
I get up there. I'm like, yeah. So I'm so,
yeah.
I'm like, I thought, I'm like, I'll be fine. Yeah, sure. Of course. I'd love to brag about my son. This would be awesome. He's been so great here. And then, my wife will talk now.
Right.
Yeah.
Big macho sports guy.
All of a sudden, it just, I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, no, I'll be good. Yeah, no problem. I'd love to talk.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then just was mush.
Yeah. There's these.
So you've got that coming up.
These kids.
Yeah. They do it to you.
What do? They're selfish. They just take. They make you emotional. Oh, and then poor Mason. Oh, God.
I'll be fine, Dad. I heard you say she was the light of the house. I help save energy,
which we need. But
I heard about that solar bill.
I did this thing. Like a couple weeks ago where Avery had to stay at school, and Melissa couldn't pick him up. It was a minimum day, so I picked up Mason, and just to see what would happen. So he gets in the car, and it's always, hey, buddy, hey, how you doing? And so my whole point was that I'm going to say, hey, buddy, how was your day? And then after that, I'm not going to, after he finishes his answer,
see what happens next.
I'm not going to say a word until we get home.
And he hasn't talked since.
Unless he said something, then I would respond. And you guessed it, we pull into the driveway. And then I was like, hey, nice talk, dude. He was like, well, you did that. And you think like he's on his phone or something, or no, he's just raw dogging the ride home, just staring out the window, just masoning around.
You're like, if I could just climb into that brain, what's he thinking?
What does he think? By the way, it's probably something like cheeseburger.
I like them a lot.
I don't think it's too intense. But, whereas...
he's like solving the world's problems.
Probably. Yeah, it's like the beautiful mind thing. Meanwhile...
I know these tariffs.
And the times where I've actually had to say this as we break here. I've had to say this to Avery before. I'll pick her up with or without Mason. She doesn't care. And how was your day?
Nonstop.
There have literally been times where I've laughed as we're pulling into the driveway. It's a 20-minute drive home. Yeah. And I go, Avery, do you realize you talked the entire...
You jumped out of the car.
You ever see what... It's like an airplane when Stryker's explaining what's going on to the old lady, and at the end she's hanging from it. She's pouring gasoline on herself. That's sometimes how it feels. We'll take a break. When we come back, obviously we've got a giant show for you today. The NBA Finals Game 1. Woo! Oh my goodness gracious. Well, big markets aren't involved. Why watch? Former Mayor Daryl Steinberg is going to join us real quick at 8 a.m. There's a big vote to solidify this stadium, and between now, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to have somebody on to just kind of outline. This is a really cool thing for the city. I'm very excited about this. And so much more. Safer Out, 3 for Madness, Friday Fun and Games without me, which I can't stand. I love that segment, favorite segment of the week, but you guys will be fine. It's Dave, it's Jason, it's Anthony, and for Chris Rolado. We're right back after this.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly
Auto Parts. Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Haliburton has it with 3, driving with 2, pulling up, and hitting with 0.3 of a second to go. How many more times can this team do that?
Sweet baby.
Well, said they're going to win, it'd be a game 1. So I'm rolling with that.
Yeah. That was fun.
It really was. What we talked about yesterday in the second half, no matter what the score is, the Pacers go on any sort of run, that place it's going to get scary. And it did. And you knew it was coming. You saw it while it was happening. You didn't know it was going to happen, but as it was happening, you're like, no, it can't. They're not going to. Oh my God.
You know what I thought about yesterday as it's happening? You. And you know why?
Oh God, why?
No, in the good way.
Okay.
You gave a very specific stat yesterday.
Oh, yes.
The number.
Yeah.
And it was 110, 109, and the number was 110. If the Pacers get over 110, they win. If the Thunder give up over 110, they lose. And it's 110, 109. Thunder have the ball, 22 seconds left. And I'm like,
oh, God.
Well, they obviously need to score to win. If they get a stop, here's the number. They're here.
They're right there.
And they win 111, 110. I mean, incredible. Sometimes the numbers line up, and it lined up.
It's insane. It is just, this is a generational run. We have, look, at some point today, everybody, of course, will spend a segment on, but it's not going to be, doesn't it stink to have Haliburton traded? No, I put a poll question out yesterday. I'm actually really intrigued by the results. We'll address the whole he could have been on the Kings thing for a segment, but obviously that's been, we've had this conversation. What we do have, though, let's pretend for a second Haliburton was never on the Kings. There are so many numbers and stats and things out there that really kind of drive home the insanity of what the Pacers have been doing this postseason, and specifically what Tyrese Haliburton has been doing this postseason.
So yesterday we also said, I think you said it was the Athletic. Somebody had a poll that had him as the 7th best player in the league.
Yeah.
So let's just go off that premise. I don't agree. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
He's the 7th best player in the league. The 6 above him, I would almost guarantee, with the exception if LeBron is one of them, and I don't know if he is on this list, haven't been in the spot this many times.
No.
I mean, he's come through, which 100% credit. It's difficult to be in that spot. SGA would be voted a better player than him.
Sure.
I don't even know how many times he's been in a spot to hit a game winner in the playoffs. Tyrese has had it 4 times this playoffs.
Yeah.
And he's come through. It's crazy.
It's like a third cousin to a really good relief pitcher for an insanely good team.
Yeah.
And you go, he only has 16 saves on the year, but there was 18 save opportunities because they always blew out opponents. You have to have that situation to happen to be able to capitalize on.
Who was the guy? I want to say, was it Mark Lemke for the Braves years ago? There was a roster filled with great players, but he had 3 game-winning hits.
Yes, I think you're exactly right. It was Mark Lemke.
He's fine. He's a fine player. Now, Tyrese is better than that, but you just go, to be in that position and then more importantly come through, incredible.
Like I said, we got a ton of stuff here, but Jason, I don't know if between last night and tonight, because I know you're big on this, have you listened to the Korean call?
I have.
Okay.
자, 언더독인 인디애나가 익숙한 상황을 맞이한다. 할리버튼.
Okay, so
did he make it?
The biggest hypocrisy, and I have many, the biggest hypocrisy I have going in my life is that I cannot stand screamy, yelly, color analyst, offensive lineman, NFL jump all over the play-by-play. It drives me nuts.
Unless it's in a different language.
If it's in a different language, I'm so here for it. I am here for and maybe it's because, you know why I think? Maybe it's because I can't understand what they're saying, so I'm not missing anything. Yeah. Whereas in English, I know what, for example, Greg Papa's saying. So if somebody was stepping on his call, like,
great, baby.
Yeah, it's like, what's he saying? Yeah. I don't know what he's saying, and I'm picking on them because they don't do that. So I think we have Portuguese. I think we have Spanish, obviously Korean, and then I think one more, and I'm happy to try to gather more as the day goes on. But in any language, it's a 1-0 lead for the Pacers, and they have home court advantage in the NBA Finals.
I mean, I watched it live. I don't remember hearing it again, but I don't think we got a bang out of that.
Not on, and I wonder, okay, this might be a really stupid, obvious question I'm having. So you didn't get a bang out of that. Does Mike Breen save his bangs only for 3-point shots?
Good question.
Okay, it is. Okay, I thought maybe. Don't know. I thought that was gonna be a duh.
That felt bang worthy.
That was that dude. If that was the most bangable shot. That's as bangable as any other shot we've seen. Yeah. But I think he saves his bangs from behind the arc.
Gotcha.
But we'll have to. We'll have to.
Yeah. We'll get him on later.
And also as we move on, you know what last night means, Jason? This is great news. We officially have a series.
Oh yeah, the road team won.
Road team won.
Yeah.
And a series
it started. It is now starting.
The NBA Finals started last night. Yeah. Awesome. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
As Vesta delivers in the pitch. That's swung on, drive to deep right center. Buxton looks up. It's 7-0 Athletics.
Jason.
Yeah.
How great was that the A's won yesterday? Too bad you weren't there.
I know. Wait.
Now
what?
Huh?
I was in this race. And there are these handles. By the way, no race yesterday. Did we shut down the race?
I wasn't going to say anything, but they did hear that segment, and
that's it.
In solidarity with me, they have decided the races are done. However, the A's won a ball game.
Yeah, honestly, when that home run happened, 7-0, I'm like, is 7 enough? They've been giving up like 8 runs a game. I think they need more. Then when it got to 11-1, I'm like, okay, this should be enough.
Yes.
If this isn't enough, this team's got a major problem. And then, cruise to a 14-3 win.
We're going to talk a little bit later about what your secret is. It was funny because it was bottom of the 4th. It was bottom of the 4th. I think it was it was 7-1 because the Twins had gotten a run in the top of the 4th. It's bottom of the 4th, and the A's played their first run up 7-1. And I was watching the game too. I had the same thought that, okay, at this point, 8 is enough.
Filmed in Sacramento or based in Sacramento.
Based in Sacramento.
I don't know if it was filmed.
Let's say it was.
He worked for the. It wasn't even like the union. He wrote for the.
It was something good. It was like a fake paper, but it was something like that. Yeah.
The Sacramento Gazette.
Right. The Sac Herald.
Yeah.
Text line 916-339-1140. The first text of the day, which I find funny because it says, Dave, are you going to talk about the JT Snow clip? And the answer is yes. I have it loaded up and we're do you know what we're talking about?
I don't.
So yesterday, JT Snow was talking to Tom Tolbert on, I think it was a podcast.
Okay.
JT Snow was at the mound. Okay, you remember the famous Giants, Angels, Giants. This is when Kevin Sherritt's, our old friend, called me and said, congratulations on your championship. This was 2002. This is before. This is when I'd never seen a Giants championship. Russ Ortiz is pitching a heater. Yeah. Dusty takes him out. Remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've never heard this. I don't know that it's ever been talked about. JT Snow was playing first when Dusty went to the mound. JT relays what happened on the mound, and my jaw hit the floor.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my jaw hit the flipping floor. So we'll set the stage at some point today.
And
we will absolutely play that clip for you. All right, really quick. Cut number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
1 and 2. He struck him out to end the game. They don't come easy. And that's his 100th career save. How about that?
Well, it's a big one. The Giants fight back down 2-0 in this 4-game set. They wound up taking the last 2 ball games. And every ball game in this series, a 1-run game and a nail-biter into the 9th.
and they'll walk off the field winners.
Yeah, this was a great win, great series for the Giants.
Yeah,
Great
good bounce back in the back half of that series.
Absolutely, especially with the offensive issues they've had. Robbie Ray, the first in the NL to get to 8 wins. He is now 8-1, 7 innings, 2 earned. You heard that? Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, why not, right?
Don't do that enough
for him coming back from injury. Camilo Duvall with the save. I'll be honest with you, dude. Randy Rodriguez is 25 years old.
He's filthy.
He is absolutely.
I mean, Duvall's great, but I was like, you got 2 dudes.
Yeah. Like, I always, when that happens, I always remember it's a stretch of baseball that I think a lot of people forget about. But once upon a time, John Wetland and Mariano Rivera went 8-9 and good night.
Yeah,
like
I think it was Rivera to Wetland.
It was. Wait, what? Yeah, it was.
Wetland
It was.
was
I'm sorry. I said
yeah.
It was 100% Rivera to Wetland, and then Wetland left, and Rivera, of course,
it worked out okay.
Well, we can talk about that during the summer.
Right.
I
jumped too far.
Did Mariano Rivera work out for the Yankees? It's going to be a July topic. Yeah, that was pretty much for the Yankees. That was like, if you're losing to the Yankees at the end of the 7th, you're going to lose the ball game. Yeah. Like it's you might as well just people start beating traffic, all that. We'll take a break. When we come back, safe or out, Jason, you were there. We're going to find out your keys to victory, and also a big transaction in baseball yesterday. Kind of. We'll explain what all that's about next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, a lot of stuff going on today. We're going to get baseball out of the way real quick early. We'll talk about a little baseball thing coming up in 728 and how it could affect John Fisher and the A's. Could he be selling the team? Right. We'll talk about a barrel of ex-Kings that might be in line for the next job coming up a little bit later on. Right now, though, safe or out, Anthony is in for Christopher Lott, and he has question 1.
Jason, you single-handedly broke the A's losing streak. What was your key to victory?
I'm a winner.
Yeah, you are.
I want winners.
The A's had lost something, and don't double check me on this, but I think it was like 39-40.
Pretty close.
You go,
and the offense wakes up. I went honestly with a positive vibe. I'm like, they're winning today. Yeah. I spoke it into existence.
Why didn't that work when the whole
donuts were on the line? Because there was too many people winning on that. Like, we were going to get donuts.
Yeah.
Chris would have maybe bought donuts. There was a chance I was buying donuts.
There was
extra innings.
It was,
but instead it was you. You had to buy the donuts.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of weird things from the game yesterday.
Okay.
Obviously, the offense goes nuts. I mean, they were great.
Yeah.
Jacob Wilson is just a flat-out stud. He's 3 for 3, right?
Yeah.
And then, I don't remember the position player that came in for the Twins. So
Freddie Don.
It was something Bride was his last name.
Bride?
I think his first name was Father of.
It is. That's his nickname. It's Jonah, Father of the Bride.
Yes.
Chris
So literally, I'm going to, for those on YouTube, this is his motion.
Okay. Oh, that's he wanted the one. This.
I mean, it was BP.
Oh.
Right. I mean, he's throwing like 60.
Oh, because they had
I mean, it was over. It was 14 or whatever it was.
Oh, Jonah.
So Jacob Wilson, who's got 3 hits against, just elite pitching, and he's just awesome. Jonah Bright got him out twice. I'm like, this sport is just.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, he didn't strike out, of course, but he's he hit it 2 people.
That is
And then
hilarious.
other people are just smashing the ball over the field when this guy's coming up. And it's like, how? Baseball's just weird.
And then 3 for 3, Wilson.
Turns into 3 for 5.
It turns into 3 for 5.
Which is still a great day.
Yes.
But you can see even after he got out the last time, he was kind of upset with himself.
And you got to think, too, especially on a day when they win 14-3, when they're breaking the streak, you got to think he got it. He got it from his teammates in the clubhouse.
Probably. It's like he got you out twice.
Yeah.
Like you're one of the best hitters in baseball.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
And for Jonah Bride, 2 innings, 4 hits. 2 earned, ERA of 9. Does he get in the rotation?
And so then the contrast, he's pitching the 8th and 9th. And with the huge lead, here comes Mason Miller.
Yeah.
First pitch, like 101.6. And you're like, I can't even see it.
Right. Butterflies are landing on Jonah's pitches.
Yes.
Mason Miller's breaking the sound barrier.
But it was one of those games where they so desperately needed a win. They've been giving up 800 runs an inning, and they only give a game. They only give up 3 and they score 14. You're going, can you save some of these runs? My goodness.
Isn't that what you start thinking? Like, can we divide some of these up, please?
Yeah, but good for them to finally get that W they needed.
Yep. Tyler Soderstrom had a big day.
Yes.
As Festa delivers in the pitch, that's swung on, drive to deep right center. Buxton looks up. It's 7-0 Athletics.
And that was the little home run.
Yeah.
Because he also had a granny.
He came up again later, because remember you read those baseball stats, the odd things to see, and it was like 10 RBI games.
Yeah,
he was coming up. I go, oh my gosh, bases are loaded. He could get his 3rd homer and 10 RBI.
Wow.
He did not, but I was thinking this would be awesome. I'd be at a game with a rare feat,
and there haven't been that many double grand slam games.
Yeah, so he was going for both
too.
He failed.
When we will eventually, I'm sure, get him on the program.
Yes, we'll ask about that.
Let's talk about that.
Like, what's your problem, man?
I think you broke everything down very, very well. I think your humility, your natural humility, left out the fact that, and I heard this from our good friend Mason Miller, that at one point the entire dugout looked over, saw you were there, you winked at them and kind of nodded, and I feel like unspoken words, they knew they were going to win that day.
I don't wear hats often. I wore a hat to the game, and I did the
tip of the cap.
Yep.
The respect.
And they did the,
Yep. And then
you got it, guys.
They all heard in their heads, they heard what, like a chicken.
What song is that?
Isn't that from The Natural when he hits the home run?
Oh, yeah. The chicken version. No hormones. Naturally.
That was a free range home run. Question 2, please.
The Giants got themselves a nice series win against the Padres. Now they welcome in a Braves team that has lost 4 in a row before they face the Rockies. Is this get healthy time?
Well, the Braves got healthy with Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back. They have lost 4 in a row.
It's a good team. I don't know what's going on with them.
They
had a terrible loss yesterday.
They're so what you hope is that this isn't a get healthy time for the Braves. They've lost 4 in a row. Then you go on a roadie. You got 3 with the Rockies.
Got to clean up there.
You really do, because then you end the roadie with 3 against the Dodgers.
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So I would like a nice, I'd like a nice pair of sweeps back to back.
Whoa,
yeah. Let's go ahead and sweep the Braves.
Okay,
sweep the Red Hot Rockies.
Oh, then you're in great position.
And then what happens against the Dodgers happens against the Dodgers, but.
So you're not going to take like a 4-2 wouldn't be enough for you?
I mean, it'd be fine. Giants are 3 back of the Dodgers, 2 back of the Padres. They have lost 6 of 10, which is amazing. They have lost 6 of 10, and they're still only 3 back. of the Dodgers, 3.5 ahead of the Diamondbacks. We'll see. That offense, and maybe playing in Colorado is just what that offense needs. Maybe in Colorado is just what guys like Willie Adames just needs, a nice, big, fat breakout game.
Yeah.
And no better place to do that than Coors Field.
2 homers, 6 RBI day, that's something like that.
Even yesterday, I mean, look, he was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
But what's his batting
and an RBI? 198.
Sorry, I asked.
His batting average.
It's not like they're paying him a lot. Well, no. Yeah. Sorry, Willie.
I will say this. It's tough to look for. You want to look for signs. He batted 206 in May.
So he's worse.
Even though it's early, we're only 6 games in, there are signs of improvement despite what he did yesterday or what he didn't do. For June, he is batting .067. He is.
How about the glove, though?
1 of 15.
Designated fielder?
I mean, at this point, I don't even care about his fielding. Hit the ball.
Willie.
You Willie. I'm not even calling him Adames anymore. You know what? Willie Adams. Maybe
he's Bill.
I'm not Bill Adams.
Yeah.
Maybe change the name. I'm not even going to bother to pronounce your name correctly until you start hitting.
Yeah.
Bill Adams. Question 3.
The White Sox were sold yesterday, sort of. What's the deal with this deal?
What's the deal with this deal?
What is well, I guess the good news is we're going to have another Ishbia in professional sports.
I've only heard of one Ishbia.
The Suns owner, Matt, his, I believe, older brother, Justin, will be the eventual owner of the White Sox. I think. I don't know. There was a deal in place between Ishbia and Jerry Reinsdorf, who is 89. They entered into a, quote, long-term agreement. Reinsdorf has the option of selling to Ishbia anytime between now and 2029, but also could hold off until 2034. From 2029 to 2033, Reinsdorf will have the option to sell controlling interest to Ishbia. So, by the way, it can't happen before 2029. I'm sorry. If a deal isn't completed by 2033, then Ishbia has the option to take over after the 2034 season. The statement says, Jason, there is no assurance that any such future transaction will occur, and in no event will such a transaction take place before 2029. Well, I'm not trying to be morbid, but Reinsdorf's 89. There is an event that might happen that might speed that up.
That's some Ishbia.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I wish there was a place to bet on this. If it's going to, I'll bet you it doesn't happen.
Really?
I do. I'll bet you. Think about it. So 2033, right? Or 2034. That is 9 years. I think we're on the verge of seeing the first ever, or at least that we can remember, drop in valuations in an American sport. I think baseball's valuations are going to start dropping a little bit. They're going to look at the attendance or lack thereof. They're going to look at a lot of these backloaded contracts in the league. They're going to look at the TV deals and the other sports that are happening. And it's just damn near every metric with baseball, viewing this is just kind of trailing down. I just don't know if that's still going to be a good buy in 9 years.
Well, that's a great question of whether it's a good buy. That I don't know that it would be, but I wonder if the TV deals are good enough to overcome the attendance. Because, I mean, in the same sentence that all this is factually happening, attendance is low or lower, we're seeing record contracts, 10, 15 years, 700 million, 750 for the generational type players.
Yes.
So in one sense, the sport is doing fine. The individual athletes are, but look, we all see the games and go, where's everybody?
Where are they?
Yeah. They want that dollar.
Yes.
But do they need that dollar?
I think that
it might hurt future TV deals.
That's right. And you've got the TV money, which is the dominant form, TV money and revenue sharing, the dominant form of income. Tickets are tickets, but a lot of them, a lot of people just don't want to lose their seats. So that because there are 81 plus games per year, you're getting a lot of people that they're like, oh, okay, well, I can skip this one because the barrier of entry is so low, which is part of the reason why I think you see a lot of empty seats.
Yeah.
Concessions, parking, depending on the team, whether or not they control that or not, or whether or not it's a third party.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I don't want to get nerdy about it, but Be very interesting. Like basketball, football, it's that's going to be even better in a few years. I'm not quite sure. We'll take a break when we come back. All right, let's get our first audio look. What? Audio listen. Pacers stun Oklahoma City. We've got it for you next.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad. Right now, get a free Blackstone 8-piece accessory kit when you buy a Blackstone 28-inch griddle. Plus, get 2 free select Craftsman V20 tools when you buy an RP brushless drill and impact driver combo kit. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Jose Leclerc, right-handed pitcher out with that right lat strain, recently began playing catch, though the A's expect a long recovery process before he returns to action. Gio Urshela had an MRI which confirmed a left hamstring strain. He is sidelined from baseball activity for the time being with no timeline for a return yet. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com. Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
So, before we get to the highlights, Jason, I want to talk real quick about something that I want to acknowledge. It's it's like when you're talking about the ratings. It doesn't. You and I, hoop heads out there, we care about we care about the basketball.
Uh-huh.
But I do think it's important to point out, like, We did reach out, as we do every year, to try to get Commissioner Silver on.
Mm-hmm. He went to the game.
He was? Mm-hmm. What the hell is the NBA doing? Or more to the point, what aren't they doing? This game was presented almost like a regular season game. It's the NBA Finals. I was looking back at some old intros for game ones, right? And you know I think the Kings have done it before, where like the court starts moving, the video overlays of highlights and stuff, and a lot of those are done by the networks in partnership with the team to go back through great finals moments. Oh, there's Havlicek, there's Bird, there's Kareem, there, pyro, music, intros, the trophy on the court in the middle, the NBA Finals in cursive. I understand the Super Bowl is a different animal, but when you look at the Super Bowl or even the World Series, there is a sense of this is special. This is it.
You didn't feel that?
I would invite, again, you can't watch another game one again, but even in game two, there's pregame coverage. And then, game starts, they've got the intros. And then the game ends, you have an interview. We'll wrap it up and throw it to SportsCenter. Why is there no live post-game show? What, do you have to put SportsCenter right there? Can we have a half hour to an hour live show on the court, post-game show, then throw to sports? I'm just talking about the overall production of the game and the display or lack thereof, especially when you're talking about the NBA, which is no stranger to doing really cool, entertaining things. If I was a Kings fan and that was game one and it was at Golden One Center and we saw that, I'd be like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah, but on the postgame, isn't it all because it was ABC? So now we go different parts of the country. Don't they go right to news?
They go to news, which then flips you over, but then they promote SportsCenter, which ESPN, ABC, Disney, and all that.
Even here, I think they did a local sports thing right after.
They're getting their affiliates.
Yeah, which in the East and everywhere else, it's like we go right to our news.
Totally get it. And so the solves there, because they are partners, again, ABC and Disney and ESPN, is flip over to ESPN or ESPN2 for complete post-game. Yeah. And again, even beyond that, I think when you look at the court, when you look at the if you didn't know better, it's a game in December.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I want, even soccer, like the Champions League, like they've got their anthem, which is this insanely, I love the Champions League anthem. There's players are coming out holding hands with, whatever, some kid that they're doing a thing and they all shaking. And there's all this stuff. The NHL, like there's always this pomp and circumstance. And I know I get it. I know there's probably some people out there right now listening to this and going, shut your face, stupid. Like, I'm so glad there's less of that. I do hear you and I understand that. I'm talking more about the health of the sport ratings, which is the conversation, and just the way it's presented. These are all things that consciously or subconsciously, it helps. The drama, it helps bring eyes to the thing. And I just don't understand why I feel like the NBA dropped the ball very uncharacteristically.
Interesting. Okay.
But there was a game. And, oh my goodness.
Heck of a game.
Fireworks during the game, Jason Ross. We'll start with SGA, the MVP, and a 3-point shot in the first.
Shea on the handle, Haliburton on him, pulls up, pops, angle right three-pointer, looks good, it is. It drops. Ching Thunder money ball. SGA played off on, splashes the tray.
Check out the money ball, and here's another SGA jump.
Gildas Alexander dribbling head up off the outlet. Scrams to left wing, now the baseline on the one on Siakam. Steps away, fires a fadeaway, 12-foot jumper, rips the cords. OKC by 10, timeout Indiana.
Oops, sorry, here we go. One more for SGA, second quarter, and he was having himself quite the MVP first half.
Dunk catches his breath on the handle, angle right, dancing on the dribble. Bounce piece to Shea, open, left wing three's on the way. Online to Chinga Thunder money ball. SGA splashes the tray. He has 19 first half points.
19 turnovers in the first half for the Pacers. And I don't know why I went to the box score and it said 18, so I kind of screwed this up.
That's probably
here.
like team turnover or something.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But I said, where is it here? At halftime, I tweeted, the fact that OKC has forced 18 first half turnovers is ridiculous. The fact that Indy has turned the ball over 18, 19 in the first half is ridiculous. The fact that it's only a 12-point game.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking at the half. By the way, I wasn't thinking the Pacers were going to win. But I was thinking the fact that it's only a 12-point game and they turn the ball over 19 times, if I'm the Pacers, I'm going into the half, and if I'm Rick Carlisle, that's the first number I show. Guys, clean up your turnovers, and things might happen.
6 in the second half. 25 for the game, though, is an absurd number. And I think if anybody was told that the Pacers will turn it over 25 times,
absolutely,
I would have thought that would have been a Thunder win by 20 plus.
And it would have.
They got 11 points off those turnovers.
And we talked about yesterday how they led the league in turnovers forced. They led the league in points off of turnovers. They even improved on their league leads in the playoffs. They did the turnover thing great, really well. Good for them. But the capitalization on those turnovers, as you just pointed out, not there. 24-6 turnovers. Hey, I don't want to get ahead of myself. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Lou Dort also with a 3.
Up top to Dub, blasting left on Siakam. Kicks in the corner to Dort. Up with another rainbow three-pointer. Looks good. It is to Ting it under Moneyball. Lou Gens Dort. Back-to-back long-range hits. Timeout Pacers. Dort, the first team all-defensive selection, lets the Pacers know, I've got an offensive stroke too, baby.
Lou Dort is fun to watch play.
He was really good yesterday.
He was so engaged. He's so damn good. He's so good at fighting through screens or not even being affected by screens. And it was his defense that led to a Hartenstein dunk.
Siakam fed to the top of the key, backing inside the foul line, spins. Dort blocks his shot going up. Lugan smothers it. What a play. Shea's got the loose ball to Caruso, driving right to the baseline. Swoops, can't score, but Hartenstein follows with a ferocious two-hand flush. Oh, Isaiah, don't be so mean.
Okay, one more. Jalen Williams, big dunk in the fourth.
Bad pass stolen by Dub. He's in the open court. Look out below, baby. Right hand, Statue of Liberty slam. Dub, up and down. Slashes and delivers a sinister right hand assault to the cup.
Okay. Well, they had a nice lead. Looked pretty comfortable.
Yep.
And then the fourth quarter happened.
Nembhard gives it to Toppin. Toppin shovels it to Haliburton. Haliburton, center of the floor, bounces once into the near corner. Turner is good with a 3-ball. He's in double figures with 10 points.
Mark Boyle on the call. Here's more in the fourth. Obi Toppin.
Neesmith down the left side, fumbled the dribble, now controls it, runs into a double team in the lane, and sends it out to Toppin, who finds his 5th three-point field goal of the night from the right edge.
He was huge for them.
6 of 9, 5 of 8 from beyond the arc in 25 minutes. He was absolutely huge for them. Had some turnover issues early, but he figured that out. Pascal Siakam, of course, is going to be there.
Toppin has it, center of the floor, Siakam. Under a minute to go in the fourth quarter. 110-107. Nembhard working Wallace. He'll launch a 3 and leave it short. Rebound, Siakam. It's a 1-point game as he lays it off the right-hand glass.
We fast forward to the end of the fourth, towards the end of the fourth. SGA has a chance to not ice the game, but, pretty much. He misses. And here we go. Tyrese Haliburton from the Pacer point of view.
Rebound, Indiana. 8 seconds to go. The Pacers are not going to call a timeout. Haliburton has it with 3, driving with 2, pulling up, and hitting with 0.3 of a second to go. How many more times can this team do that?
Sweet baby.
How about from the OKC point of view, Jason Ross? Chichinga Thunder Moneyball.
Interested to hear this call.
The Pacers have it, 7 seconds. Haliburton across the timeline with 5, down 1. Haliburton dancing on Wallace. Pulls up right wing, arcs it, and sticks it with 0.3 of a second to play. Pacers lead 111-110 with 0.3 of a second to play. Timeout Thunder.
Got one more reaction I want you to hear. This is no play-by-play. This is just crowd. That is what appears to be a sold-out Gainsbridge Fieldhouse.
That's awesome.
By the way,
viewing party.
There wasn't a game there.
Yeah,
there was no game. Didn't matter. Jason, we have so many. It's so hard for me to do this. We have so many factoids and things to throw out, but I want to save that. Here's Rick Carlisle post game.
And look, this arena is madness. I mean, this is, I don't know. From a road perspective, the decibels were insane. And so, it's, there's a lot going on. Grateful to have the chance to hang in and give ourselves a chance at the end. But now we've got to, keep our eye on the ball.
A full half hour of commercial-free sports talk radio coming up next. We'll kick it off with 3 for Madness. So got to mention Aaron Rodgers at some point. Pittsburgh, Rodgers, a match made in heaven? Probably not, but we'll talk about it. Game balls from game 1, and, of course, Tyrese Haliburton. We got all these facts and fun things about what the Pacers are doing. So don't go away. It's the #1 rated sports show in any time slot on any station in Sacramento, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, I'm Frank Cock with Retirement Security Center for the weekly economic update. Wall Street started the week higher, but fresh jobs data painted a murky picture for the U.S. economy, muting the earlier gains. Key report from ADP showed private payrolls increased by just 37,000 jobs in May, well below economists' expectations of 110,000. That's the weakest monthly reading in over 2 years, and it's adding pressure ahead of today's government jobs report. President Trump wasted no time pushing again for rate cuts. The continued pressure from the president on the Federal Reserve has helped cause stock and bond market volatility in recent months. Despite the soft data and ongoing trade uncertainties, Horizon Investments' Mike Dickerson struck a cautiously optimistic tone, saying that things are probably better than feared. Economists seem to think that options for growth still remain this year as we look forward to deregulation and income tax reform. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Trey Songz, live. All the hits, all in one night. Trey Songz. Friday, June 20th. The venue at Thunder Valley. With special guest, Jeremiah. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com and see the show. Trey Songz, Friday, June 20th. The venue at Thunder Valley. Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Coming up at 8, former mayor Daryl Steinberg will join us ahead of the big stadium vote on Tuesday.
What's he doing?
That's
a former mayor.
I think it's a great question. What is
he have a podcast?
Yeah. Where's his podcast? Why is he not mayoring? Maybe is there a mayor OnlyFans? I don't know. Yeah. We'll find all these things out. Does Daryl know what OnFans is?
I'm not asking him that.
I think you should. I think that should be your question.
First question, Mayor.
You said,
former Mayor, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, and how do you well, that I will ask. And I know he's going to say, just call me Daryl, but do you say Mr. Is it Mr. Because you still, like, for a president, right? You still call him Mr. President afterwards. Do you still say Mr. Mayor? You're not going to say Mr. Former Mayor. You know, we goof around on the show, but we try to be polite, classy.
Yeah.
By asking the former mayor if he knows what.
That's why. That's how.
3 for Madness. It is Anthony in for Chris Verlaud. And Anthony has a tone to his voice that I can't place, but it's in my head. It's nothing bad. He's got a great voice. There is a tone in his voice that is very familiar to me, and it's been bugging the hell out of me all day. I hope to place it by the end of my end of the show. By the way, I'm leaving a little early.
I can tell you what you said last time.
What did I? Oh, did I actually do this?
You done it.
That's how bad I am. What did I say?
It was King of the Hill.
It's King of the Hill. That's what it was. Thank you for reminding me of the thing that yes, very good. 3 for Madness. Question 1. God, I'm such an idiot.
I can tell you what you said last time.
Question 1, please.
Okay, question 1.
Uh-huh.
It took a long time, but Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are now a match. What took so long, and what kind of impact will he have with this team?
It's a great question I'm asking right now. That I wrote clearly. It's strange.
Like, it seemed inevitable. Then it was like, is this not happening? And then here we are. It's like, I feel like it had to be something with Rodgers. He's just quirky, right?
Yeah. And he goes from the Packers, which are I won't say a model team, but pretty stable.
Yeah.
They're the Packers. Then he goes to the Jets, which are incredibly not. And the Steelers are a model franchise. They may not win the Super Bowl every year, but the Steelers are the anti-Sacramento Kings. They're the photo negative of the Kings. They are stable. They are measured. And I don't think Mike Tomlin's finished below 500 since 1911. Like they're always there doing something. I do think it'd be interesting this year. I do think Aaron Rodgers has some stuff left. He's not prime peak Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think we're talking about, he's not 57 and losing it. And there's some talent on the Steelers. And and no offense to Russ Wilson, no offense to Justin Fields, but he's got DK Metcalf to throw to now. Robert Woods, Calvin Austin, Freiermuth's a great tight end that doesn't get enough credit. I don't think they're going to be contenders necessarily, but I think they'll be in the playoff hunt, and I think that's what you'll get out of it.
Yeah, and if they're a team that continues the trend of Tomlin always getting them 500 or above, or above 500 in this case, I actually think he's going to help them.
Yes, I agree.
In one sense, they went from having a variety of quarterbacks that I don't know if any of them were great, but capable in Wilson and Fields, to now someone that I think, when right, will be good for them. Rodgers didn't have the best of time in New York, and the Jets it just all blew up. I mean, they went from like, can we win the Super Bowl? I'm like, can you get to the playoffs?
Right.
Like, I think the expectations were too high. Now I think the expectations are, hey, keep us as a winner. We've got a great defense, and can you not make mistakes? And I think when Rodgers is at his prime, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, doesn't turn the ball over a ton. So if he gets the big throws, the 3rd and 8 that you've just got to convert, which he's done for the bulk of his career, I think he's going to be good for them. And they absolutely needed him because they didn't have anybody. And so that was one, out of necessity. 2, I feel like they just put all their chips into him. And when he hadn't signed, it's like, this could really be an awful offseason for them. Now he's their guy.
I love DK Metcalf. I hate that they traded George Pickens to the Cowboys.
You wanted both together?
I can only think, Jason, and again, this is incredibly irresponsible speculation, and I hope I'm wrong, but the only thing that makes sense to me is that George Pickens, and you heard rumblings, but there was something in the locker room, something that, we just talked about the stability of the Steelers. Nobody's bigger than the team.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin's that guy. If you get to whatever, you're not long for that team. That's all I can think about. He was traded to the Cowboys along with a 6th-round pick in 27. The Steelers get a 3rd-round selection next year and a 5th-rounder in 2027, which that's not a lot.
Makes you wonder if, one, like you said, the locker room or just kind of his past there. And also, Metcalf, I wouldn't say has had like a bunch of things, but there's been some. So can you have 2 receivers like that?
That's the thing.
They're both really good.
But you're talking about a guy who's 24 years old. You're talking about a guy who's 24 years old who has played all but 3 games in his career over 3 seasons. Incredibly durable. And he's had years of 800, 1,100, and 900 yards receiving. And that's from a not very stable quarterback position and a not very great offense as well. I hate the idea of him on the Cowboys too. Yeah. Watch Pickens have a nice career with the Cowboys. All right, number 2, please.
Question 2.
Who gets the game ball from game 1?
There's a lot of candidates. Not the obvious one is, of course, Tyrese Haliburton. But, overall, he was 14, 10, and 6 on 6 of 13 with 3 turnovers, which is crazy for him. Siakam had 19. Neesmith did a great job. He had 10. I'll tell you who I'm going to give the game, and I don't want to say everybody because I have a feeling I know who you're going to pick, and I think it's the right pick. I'm just going to go a little bit off the reservation here. I'm going to give it to Rick Carlisle. I'm going to give it to Rick Carlisle. I think the job he has done this postseason, we're going to have some numbers here in a second to back this up. The job he has done in the postseason with this team, when you look at the similarities between Dallas and nobody thought they were going to win it, their championship year, going up against the Heatles, and then what he's done to keep this Pacer team not just engaged and believing in the playoffs, but engaged in believing in the middle of 3rd quarter, start of the 4th quarters when you're down double digits. Yeah, the players have to execute, but we talked about this yesterday. If the Pacers are going to have success Part of it is going to be that Rick Carlisle is the ultimate chess player. He is the ultimate adjuster, X and O guy. And no offense to Margano, but Carlisle is one of the, if not the best in the league at this. And you saw that in play yesterday. Yes, the players had to execute the plays, but Carlisle putting them in that position with that offense was pretty damn good.
I love that pick. That's a phenomenal pick.
Hey, thank you.
Because yesterday felt like, to me, a classic team win. Like they needed every single person, everybody that played, coaching staff, decision maids to not call a timeout. Obviously, they scored, so you get credit for that. But it just felt right in the moment. I think he read it perfectly. I think, look, OKC led for 99.9% of the game, but I thought it was very interesting that they changed their starting lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very surprised by that. And I think that's actually something that should be looked at and maybe even questioned. I know, again, they were a missed shot away from being up 1-0 and probably still in total control of the series. But you kind of needed all of it. I mean, you needed Toppin's heroics. You needed Turner making timely threes. You obviously needed Haliburton's game-winning shot. I think that's the moment that's going to live forever. If I have to pick one, I mean, gosh, it's really difficult, but I think it kind of ties into your point, Dave, with Carlisle. I don't know the stat, but he basically orchestrated the offense through Andrew Nembhard. Like Tyrese Haliburton's the point guard, but Nembhard was the initiator and handled the ball more than Tyrese did for the bulk of the game. And I think that was a good adjustment. He also had to cover SGA, and I know that, he got 38. What did he get? Yeah. But he did a good job on him. I feel like it's Nembhard, but I mean, it could be Siakam. Of course, it's Haliburton, and Turner, Carlisle. It feels like it goes to all the Pacers, but if I'm picking one, I'm going to Nembhard. And if you pick 6 other people, I'd be like, yep, good choice. It's a team win for sure.
It really was. And by the way, shout out Game Ball also to the Pacers fans selling out that arena when there's no game there and doing all that.
And the 4 that were in the arena last night.
I know,
you see in the background jumping up and down.
I have said this before. LeBron James has you call it a podcast. There's video, but what a show called Mind the Game. And he's on with Steve Nash as co-host. I'm not a big podcast. I'm not a big, get out of here. I'm not.
Yeah.
I love this show. I love it. And it has nothing to do with LeBron James or Steve Nash other than I love nerdy basketball talk. I love listening to basketball talk when there's always at least a few things I have no idea what they're talking about and I have to go look it up, or they do a really good job of explaining it. We were talking about Rick Carlisle, and I want you to just listen to this. And maybe I'm overselling it. This was fascinating for me, listening to Steve Nash and LeBron.
Just yesterday or after the game?
I think this was
before the game.
I think it was pregame. Forgive me on that. Listening to these two, say what you want about either guy. They are basketball Einsteins. Listen to them break this down.
It's fascinating to me how you take the foul line extended area and then all the way up almost to half court. You typically in the NBA, we bring a player in for a pick and roll, or we have a pin or something, but we want to clear that area. Right. Where they're fascinating to me is they have no problem like air traffic control. Like you said, the go screens, I think they call them blur screens. Yeah. They'll come in, blur screen. One guy's coming in for screen, another guy just come in and blur. Like, so there's like, say, Turner setting a drag, Nesmith might just come in under the drag and just essentially he's changing sides of the court, but he makes the defense say, whose responsibility is this? Do I need to help here?
Should I help here? Should I switch here? Should I say square? Do I,
And so they create this confusion, which gets people on their heels. Now Hallie's turned the corner. And then you got some just different things. They play guard-to-guard pitch, which is very rare, right? Usually it's guard to big. They flare high. They might be running an action on this side and always flare the help. The cutting also moves the help. So, for example, if we run a drag and Nesmith runs that blur while the drag is going on, the help's moving. So they've moved the help he's gone from strong to weak, or the guy comes off the pick and roll or rejects it.
So guy doesn't know if he's low man or not. He doesn't know if he's the tag guy, if he's a low man, should he be helping?
Right.
I'm fascinated. Yeah. It's like
it's fascinating that they're that fascinated by it. makes it like it's a puzzle.
You're talking about two of the greatest basketball minds to ever play the game, and they're breaking down why Indiana's offense is so difficult, and not just, oh, this guy shoots well and that guy shoots well and this guy's hot and that guy dry. It's like, no, there is so much nerd that goes into creating this stuff.
Well, and what that leads to is, honestly, if we look at the track record of Indiana this postseason and all these comebacks, there's inherently in late game situations, there's some chaos. So if they're already talking about how good they are at chaos, then there's just time, score, situational chaos, and they're thriving in it, honestly. I mean,
they're thriving in the chaos.
If they get the stops, then it's like, good luck stopping us, because now we know we can do it. We believe we're going to do it. And again, they led on one play, the final shot. That's it.
We've got numbers to back that up here a little bit later. All right, question number 3. Sorry.
Question 3.
Kings fans, Tyrese Haliburton keeps doing this again and again. Are you okay?
I mean, at some point, I think it's, look, I'm not going to compare this to when somebody dies, though yet I am, but let's just acknowledge it's not that bad. It's basketball. I think grief is a funny thing in this, and not funny, haha. I think when something happens that you're sad about, whether something important or something not important, like basketball, there are times, like right now, I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it, and what great basketball, and there's no guarantee he'd be doing that with us. In fact, likely he wouldn't be, and all these other things, not to cope, just to enjoy it in the moment. But then, and the reason I bring up, like when a loved one passes or something, you could go months. You lost someone, you lost your mother.
Yes.
And I'll bet you, I'm right about this, you'll go not days or weeks without thinking of her, but you'll go a long time, and then it'll be like you smell a perfume.
Absolutely.
You see a place,
just
you get
a trigger,
and
the waterworks.
100%
out of nowhere.
I think grief, whether it's, again, something incredibly important, like with you, or something so trivial, I think the triggers and the processes are still the same. So at some point, like after a game, let's say the Pacers go on to win this thing, like it'll be amazing and whatever, and that's so cool. And then like somewhere in the post game, after they're hoisting the Larry O'Brien, they're talking to Tyrese Haliburton, and he'll just have this side comment like, you know what, when I came in, I thought I was going to do this in Sacramento, but things work out for a reason. And that's going to send me into a depression for a week. But right now, you just kind of have to sit back and go, okay, I got to put me being a Kings fan aside sometimes and bring me being pretend like Tyrese Haliburton was traded by Charlotte, another dumb team, and I'm not going to feel that bad. And just enjoy what they're doing. This fits the bill. The underdogs, the team that shouldn't be there, the young star, as Dwayne Wade said yesterday in his live reaction, the young superstar now in Tyrese Haliburton. It really is an amazing thing to watch come out of the cocoon.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with it. Like, because I do think if he was here, Tyrese Haliburton would be a great player.
Yes.
I don't think we're watching him do what he's doing, though. I don't think the Kings are advancing and getting to the final. I just don't. I think he's in a good spot. He's taken advantage of it, and he's had some opportunities to be in critical moments. And to his credit, he has come through. He's got some iconic NBA moments that great players don't always get a chance to do, and he's come through. And I don't even know if they're going to win this series. I think most people still predict them not to.
Yeah,
he might have the moment and moments of these playoffs, from the Knicks shot to this shot. This is the stuff that will live forever. And so to his credit, he's a part of that. But I think you said it the other day, and I'm more than prepared for next year's postseason. The year after that, De'Aaron Fox hitting game winners or being huge for the Spurs because he's good.
Yes.
To that point, even on a lesser scale, this year there was a game winner the Spurs hit that Harrison Barnes made against the Warriors. And it was almost in the same spot that he missed in game 4. People were like, oh, he couldn't make that. It's a different game, a different team. He made it in the regular. Like, you just can't transport that. Like, are the Raptors fans going nuts that Siakam's the Eastern Conference Finals MVP? He was a Raptor.
Yeah.
He's great.
Paul George.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
I'm not gonna lament on that and just go, because I don't think it's apples to apples here that Tyrese would be doing this year. I think he would be great, but I don't think he's leading his team to the finals.
You ever have something come up, whether you were in school as a kid and you have a big test, or in life, when you know that there's something on the calendar that you're dreading, and you just kind of you put it out of your mind, but every once in a while it like flits back in your head, and you hear the clock ticking. This may or may not happen, but don't think that I'm not spending way too much time at times thinking about the fact that all this is going on and we're analyzing, we're talking about it, and you're seeing all this stuff. Don't think that De'Aaron Fox isn't watching all of this too. And he's hearing all of this like, well, Haliburton is easily better. Who's better, Haliburton or Fox debate is over.
Yeah.
Haliburton's better. And Kings fans know this. You can say whatever you want about De'Aaron Fox. When he's pissed off, it's actually the best De'Aaron Fox. Couple that with the Spurs being in prime position to either make an acquisition that's going to be a difference maker, or just continuing to build with their 2 top 14 picks and the number 2 pick overall.
Right.
That's like as you said, that you're prepared for that. I'm desperately trying to prepare for that, but I don't think there's anything I can do. This was an exchange yesterday. We talked about SportsCenter last night. Scott Van Pelt on the court. Did you see this exchange?
I did. I saw the interview. I'm trying to think which part of it, but
I thought this was a very interesting exchange between Van Pelt and Haliburton, a very human exchange between the two of them.
Make a place.
The other night on the show, I put my hand up and I said, look, I was late to the party on it.
Yeah, you're a real one for that.
Well,
I heard that. You're a real one for that.
Well,
but a lot of your counterparts won't admit that now.
Well, now I'm going to give myself a little wiggle room here and say you guys are under 500 at Christmas. Am I right?
Yo, we were rough.
Okay,
we were rough.
So were you bad at the start?
We were.
So all I said is I was a little late to the party, I put my hand up.
We were late to the party too.
Okay, well then I'm going to be. I'll be a real one right now. Every single note I had on this card getting ready for this show is about Oklahoma City winning this game, and I'm sitting here with you. It's an amazing show that you all are putting on, and the belief is amazing to watch as well. I appreciate you taking the time. Thanks so much.
I mean,
yeah,
it is true. And when you look at Jason, some of the factoids, and we've got a ton.
Yeah.
I have a stat here. The most win probability added via clutch shooting since a single postseason since 1997.
Okay.
Number 5, Anthony Davis, 1.66. Number 4. Can you say that name, please?
Bob Orry.
Thank you. 1.69.
That's interesting.
Number 3, LeBron James, 1.82. Win probability added. Number 4, LeBron James, 2013, 1.86. The number 1 player in clutch shooting, win probability added, in a single postseason since 1997 is Tyrese Haliburton. Remember, LeBron was second at 1.86. Tyrese Haliburton at 2.48.
Wow.
They're still going.
Yeah.
He is 6 for 7 when taking a shot to tie or take the lead in the final 90 seconds of the fourth or overtime in these playoffs. That's an 85.7% clip. That's the most such shots in a single postseason since 1997. The Pacers now have a win in every round with the following probabilities: 4.1%, 2.6%, 2.1%, and 0.3%.
Wow.
The odds of all 4 games going the Pacers' way: 0.000006716. In other words, a 1 in 1.15 million chance of that happening. Game 1 was the Pacers' 5th comeback victory from a deficit of 15 or more points in the 2025 NBA playoffs, the most by a team in a single postseason since 1998. The Pacers have 6 road wins these playoffs, in which the leading scorer in the game was on the opposing team. That is the most by any NBA team in a single postseason of all time. Entering yesterday, Teams when trailing by 9 or more points in the final 3 minutes of an NBA. Now, not the final 30, the final 3 minutes. Not down by 15, not down by 20, down by 9 or more of an NBA Finals game. Teams trailing by 9 or more in the final 3 minutes. 0-182. And Jason, doesn't it seem like we've been reading these stats
all postseason?
All postseason.
Yeah.
Whether it was against Boston, New York,
Cleveland, Milwaukee. Yeah.
Well, I say Boston. They didn't play Boston. I'm an idiot. That was the
They would have done it to them, too.
They would have. And before we go to break, Indiana has come back from down 15 or more 5 times this postseason, the most such comebacks in a single postseason in the play-by-play era. The Pacers are 5-3 when going down by 15 or more in the playoffs. They're 5-3.
Yeah. And again, I don't know if they'll win another game. They might win the series. Who knows? But if OKC has a lead of about 50, from now on, nobody's going to feel.
No.
How much time and score does it need to be where someone goes, all right, we're good now?
The Pacers are like you watch one of the horror movies and you like shotgun blasted, you stuff a grenade up his butt, whatever it is to the bad guy.
And then the finger moves.
The finger moves.
Here they come.
He's still coming. What? Yeah. How do you kill this guy? The Pacers are the dude in the Terminator and Terminator 2. That you can do whatever. You shoot a giant crater in his head, and then he just forms his head back. And it's like, how do you find? I mean, somebody's got to throw this team in some lava. That's the only way to get them. Works in Terminator. Take a break. When we come back, the White Sox were sold to yet another Ishbia. Could this be something that gets John Fisher out? And we have more of these factoids as well. Don't forget, former mayor Daryl Steinberg will join us at 8 briefly to talk about this thing coming up on Tuesday. That's the stadium deal. It's going to be really awesome for Sacramento. I'm very excited about this. It's Dave. It's Jason Anthony in for Chris on vacation. We're right back after this.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, looking for something positive in the midst of a dismal stretch for the A's, center fielder Denzel Clark, finishing his second weekend in the big leagues and playing in his hometown of Toronto, went 4 for 9 with a home run in the last 3 games of the series, and also made a sensational Spider-Man leaping catch over the wall in center field, robbing Alejandro Kirk of a home run. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hey, don't forget, later in the show, we'll wrap up the week with Friday Fun and Games. Alan Stiles will be in here to help preview his show, which is coming up at 10. And as Dave mentioned earlier, still to come at 8 o'clock, the former mayor, Daryl Steinberg, will be joining us. So we've got a lot of that. A lot more, too, on Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Really an amazing display of what Indiana has been the entirety of the postseason. And they did it again. And Kings fans, you had to watch it again with Tyrese Haliburton coming up clutch, hitting the game winner, and now making this very, very interesting. 1-0 Pacers.
I know. A couple more facts. This is the third 15-point fourth quarter final comeback since 1971. Fifth 15-point Pacer comeback these playoffs. We said that. And once again, the final call. But this time, we've got a few languages. We'll start with Portuguese.
O rebote é nos Pacers, eles vão ter a chance de vencer o jogo. Bola para ele, pro homem clutch da temporada, Haliburton, o jumper lá.
Okay.
Diferente dos Pacers.
Korean, which we already played, but I'll play it 5 more times.
자, 언더독인 인디애나가 익숙한 상황을 맞이한다.
Wow! This is Spanish. Okay. Spanish never lets us down.
No.
La oportunidad para los Pacers. I love this guy. Oh, hypes. Oh, my God. He's got I've not heard this. Okay, here we go. Come on.
Oportunidad para los Pacers. No le queda nada a este partido. Será Haliburton de nuevo. A ver, Tyrese Haliburton a distancia. Quemando las redes. Tyrese Haliburton por cuarta ocasión en esta postemporada.
Dare I say a little muted for what we're used to with this?
A little, but
I want goal. Yeah. I want something. Yeah, that's and that always fascinates me too. Like, because sometimes the person calling the game in the foreign language will be like foreign language, Tyrese Haliburton, and like perfect, no accent. And I think I like it more when they put their flavor on the name. Yeah. And there you go. All right, I want to just pause real quick and talk about this White Sox sale. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it because, there's better stuff to talk about. But Matt Ishbia's older brother, Justin, has entered in an agreement to, I think, buy the White Sox from Jerry Reinsdorf sometime this century, but not for like 4 years. But then I don't know. I wonder. Sometimes these things come in spurts.
Okay.
And the idea here is, could John Fisher who everybody wants to sell, be up next. Now, Jason, I think it's very, very worth noting, and it's something I and a few others I think are keeping an eye on. We told you last week that John Fisher's company, The Gap, his family wealth is all tied up in The Gap, Old Navy, and all that. They lost 26% in the stock market last week, which was
that's massive.
It's massive. It was, I think they went down $2 billion.
Wow.
In 1 week alone. But the other thing to keep an eye on, year to date, Bally's Corporation, which is a huge the partner in this deal with the land and everything else, they're down 53%.
Wow.
Year on year. I know it's nerdy. I know this is the stuff, that is tough to really pay attention to, but Fisher's got to come up with this money. And he said he was going to try to do it through selling equity in the team, not majority ownership, but equity in the team. Also, if I read correctly, I believe in part with waiving the relocation fee, there's a penalty in place that Fisher would have to pay if he sells the team. I think it's before 2028, which of course could be waived. I think it's fascinating to watch because you look, I don't want to overdo it. A lot of times people try to analyze this stuff and it's very surface and they don't understand what they're talking about. Like John Fisher could go out and get a loan. There's a lot of ways he could come up with this money, but when you're watching your company lose billions in a week, and overall it ain't been great for the Gap, they're supposed to have a groundbreaking towards the end of this month.
Right.
I just bet that groundbreaking is going to look incredibly ceremonial. Hey, here's some people with shovels and hard hats. We throw the first piece of dirt into the ceremonial whatever and
cut a ribbon,
maybe plant a little flag. In other words,
but nothing more than that.
Nothing that can be, I don't think, what I think will be interesting to look at and keep an eye on is, all right, you had your little groundbreaking ceremony. Okay, what's going on over the next few weeks? Like, do the dump trucks and forklifts and the little diggy tractors? What was it called with the little mouth dig? The
excavators?
Yeah, okay. Are they showing up?
Right.
Or did you just have this thing and now there's nothing going on? But I don't know how anybody... Look, I've never been a billionaire. I'd love to be. But if I'm sitting on Billy's, and I got all kinds of places I could put it, do I really want to partner with this guy?
Right. And I feel like along this road for the last 5+ years with Fisher, Dave, there's been some outs for him, and he hasn't taken any of them. And part of me, as back to the business part of it, which I'll never be in his realm. I'll never get it. I don't understand the why for him. Like, at the end of this, does he truly believe there's a financial windfall by getting to Vegas? And maybe there is, that I don't see right now, but the amount of money it's costing him to get there, the amount of what he's doing to the franchise in Oakland, here in Sacramento, potentially even in Vegas, it just feels like he could have gotten out multiple times. And some people are like, no one would buy it. No, there were people that would have bought them and kept them in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And I think that, 2-3 years ago, if he had done that, I think he'd be in such a better spot financially. And then even it's like, okay, well, I didn't. So now how about now? I still think there's some outs for him. And I don't know why he's not doing that. If he, their chances are there.
ESPN.com had a great article on the A's and the opportunity at Howard Terminal, to your point. And I keep looking back at that deal. Fisher had a pathway to a ballpark village at Howard Terminal, half ownership of the Coliseum site, and he fumbled it. And someday there's going to be a deep dive. How much, if any, did Mark Davis and the Raiders affect this? How much did the success of the Raiders and the Vegas Golden Knights affect this? How much of this was John Fisher taking things personally against Oakland and saying, you see it in movies all the time. Why wouldn't it be in real life? Truth is stranger than fiction. Like, could almost guarantee you there was a conversation at some point in some room involving John Fisher where he's like, I don't care if I go broke.
Right.
I'm taking the A's. These people suck, and I'm not doing anything to help them.
Well, and it's all snowballed too. I mean, Oakland at one point to have the 3 teams in just a thriving area. I mean, it's hit hard times. There's no doubt about that. But part of it is also, yes, they've hit hard times, but did the Warriors leave help that or hurt that?
Yeah.
Raiders leaving, and then the A's are the last one standing. It's like, well, look at our community here, and it's really gone. It's completely different than 20 years ago.
Yes.
And do we want to be the one that tries to revive it? And I understand that part of it, but I think it all kind of, if they all work together, I think it also could have been something that they all did save.
I completely agree. And that's something that we focus on John Fisher, and rightfully so. It gets a little difficult talking about what, if any, culpability the city of Oakland had, the state of Oakland, if you will. But it is interesting when you say, okay, well, Joe Lacob isn't public enemy number one. He took him across the bay to San Francisco. Mark Davis and the Raiders aren't really public enemy number one. They went to Vegas, and no one's saying sell the team and, we'll forever hate you. I don't know if it's because I can't sit here as somebody who wasn't born and raised in Oakland, but, we're right there. We're next to it. I can't imagine the A's are more important than the Raiders. I think it's more that the Raiders had left and come back before. The Warriors, maybe it was the whole Golden State thing, that they belong to, the Bay. It just seems that there's something different about the A's, and I don't know how much of it is, hey, the A's in the World Series and the swinging A's of the 70s and all that, and the history of the city being ripped, but also they were also the last of the 3 to leave.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the A's had been the first to leave, followed by the Warriors, and then the Raiders were left.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mark Davis would be getting a lot of this because it's the last of the last. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that John Fisher ain't popular there, dude. We'll take a very quick 2-minute break. When we come back, let's get back to these finals. I put out a poll yesterday, Jason Ross. It didn't feel good to do, but I honestly was just curious because recency bias is a fun thing. Is it recency bias? There was a thought once upon a time, not that long ago, and by not that long ago, I think I mean like maybe a month ago, where it was inconceivable to think that anything would hurt Kings fans more than the memory of passing on Luka Doncic. We may have crossed that Rubicon last night. We'll talk about that more next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
Summer's almost here, and so are popsicles, pool days, and a lot of smiling. Make sure your kiddo's smile is ready with a visit to Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics. Our expert team makes dental visits easy and fun with sensory-friendly hours for kids who need a calmer environment. We can also accommodate same-day treatments, and to save you time, if your child needs multiple treatments, we can often do them all at once. Appointments fill up fast, so don't wait. Beat the summer rush and schedule online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, where healthy, happy smiles begin.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Okay. The Ballad of the Tortured Kings fan. So, yes, of course, watching all that last night. And, you know, we all know. It's fun, it's neat, it's great, it's all that. But also at the same time, you know, there's a lot of sad pandas around here, knowing that Tyrese Haliburton was drafted by this team. It was a situation where, oh my goodness gracious, like, you know, we had instead of passing on players that went on to do amazing, he fell to us at number 12. We got the steal of the draft, and then he wanted to be here, and we traded him, and now he's doing what he's doing and all that stuff. So I put out a poll yesterday. It was right after the game. Just curious to get a flash poll on Kings fans.
Very sensitive right after the game.
Very. Which hurts more, Kings fans? Passing on Luka Doncic or trading Tyrese Haliburton?
Okay.
With 1,979 votes. And still 12 hours to go, by the way. Jason, you have a guess?
My instincts say it should be passing on Luka, but it was after the game, so I'm going to say that Tyrese is the leader in the poll, probably 55 to 45.
55 to 45. Oh, how silly you are, Jason. 54.6 to 45.4. Tyrese Haliburton's leading.
Oh,
pretty much nailed it. Now, I do that. You know, sometimes people get mad. Like, well, okay, we get it. You beat a dead horse. What I want to do that because I'm going to bring that poll back at some point next season when I don't know.
Luka has a quadruple double.
Yeah, something like that. And by the way, the Pacers might lose to the Thunder. And they are still, by the way, heavily favored to lose in this series. So it would be interesting to if Indiana does lose this series, do that poll again. And then at some point next year, like you said, after all that, people have cooled down, whatever. And it's more, I'm just very interested. You know, we're all fan is short for fanatic and all that. But what I really think is interesting now, because look, I'm right in the middle of it with everybody and being miserable and hateful and sad and all that in the middle of it. But also you kind of have to step back. And I always use from Anchorman when the dog ate the whole wheel of cheese and he was just like, I'm not even mad. I'm kind of impressed. Like at this point, the amount of horrible things that have happened to the Sacramento Kings fans, which many of which are self-inflicted by the franchise. It I don't want to say it's comical because I don't think it's funny, but it is almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so here's one.
Can I ask you really fast on the poll?
Yeah.
What would you pick? Because I don't think it's close.
I think it's Luka.
Yeah. And the reason I would say that, it's always like, what was the alternative? So Luka to Bagley is the Grand Canyon of differences. Like, you know, again, I think we had said, okay, yeah, you didn't take Luka, but if it was Trae Young, SGA, all the other people that were in that draft, Jaren Jackson, like there were just so many other choices. Just Marvin it was not even close, the comparison between the two.
That's correct.
Whereas Haliburton is incredible. He's doing incredible things. You did get Sabonis. And if people go,
right,
there's a difference, that's fine. It's not the Grand Canyon.
No, it's not. It's
So
not
it's
Doncic. By the way, if Rob Pelinka called the Pacers after the series is over and said, we'll trade you Luka Doncic for Tyrese Haliburton straight up, who says no? I mean, do the Pacers say no? I think they would, because he is entrenched there and they don't want to Nico Harrison themselves. But I say this with absolute confidence. So that leaves 28 more teams, right? Lakers obviously don't count. Take the Pacers out of the equation. I think if you polled 28 general managers, if you had Tyrese Haliburton and you were offered Luka Doncic straight up, would you make that trade?
Mm-hmm.
If not 28, 26 or 27 would say, yeah, I would trade him. So when you think about it with the Kings, it's like you said, the chasm between Doncic and Bagley, everything that followed or didn't. And by the way, even if the Kings had traded Luka Doncic instead of the Mavericks last year, they're getting something back.
Right.
I saw a writer talk about how the rumor is that the Kings' big three, none of them are untouchable this offseason: Sabonis, LaVine, and DeRozan. And I don't know why it triggered me, but I was like, they're big three. We turned Fox and Haliburton into a very good player in Sabonis, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine in a movable contract. DeRozan, a guy that's probably going to get flipped this summer for some picks and a young play, nothing crazy. But what do you think? How do you think it would turn out, Jason, if I said which hurts more? I'll give you 4 choices.
Okay.
These two, Luka, Tyrese, Weber shredding his knee against Dallas, Robert Horry. I mean, you're talking about that is now the 4 horsemen. And again, I have to say this every single time. I'm not going to talk about Wayman or Ricky Berry, or those are real things. This is garbage, stupid basketball. I'm not talking about real life tragedies.
Okay. I think the answer is easy. I think.
Oh, are you saying the answer that it should be, or are you saying the answer that, or both?
My answer.
Your answer.
And whether it's others. And the reason I'm saying this, I'm going to try to go back through each of them. So the Luka thing on draft night, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
There was probably still part of me that was going, okay, Marvin Bagley. I don't know that I was screaming that they didn't take Luka in the moment. I think a lot of people thought they should take Luka.
Right.
I mean, most people thought they should take Luka. But I think I probably went to there like, all right, Marvin Bagley, let's go. I hadn't seen a minute of him play yet as a King. Hadn't seen a minute of Luka play eventually as a Dallas Maverick.
Right.
There was still an unknown. The Tyrese was stunning. But you're like, oh, Sabonis is pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think there's still a little bit of, hey, it could be this. We don't know what this is. Now we've seen it. It's like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Ori's a gut punch.
Right.
I mean, in the moment, there's no, oh, well. The only, oh, well is it's 2-2.
Right.
In the series.
Yes.
It's not over. It didn't end. That's the only, slim part of optimism, but the reality of it is like, oh my gosh, what just happened?
I think 23 years later, Jason,
I can still feel the emotion of it.
And I'm with you. I think this is a really interesting part of the conversation, because I would put the Ori shot last.
Really?
Here's why. Because I think the Ori shot, it's not the Ori shot. It's what the Ori shot represented before and after the Ori. Look, there's no doubt it's a gut punch.
Yeah.
But as you just said, it's one shot. It was 2-2. There's still plenty of series to go.
Yeah.
When you compare that, this is just me, when you compare that to these franchise altering, that was a snap play.
Yeah.
This was, Luka, Tyrese, what was the other one? Oh, Weber.
Well, Weber was a franchise altering thing.
Franchise altering.
I still say that's their best team. The very next year.
I couldn't agree with you more.
And they still lose in 7 without their best player, Weber, in the semifinals to Dallas.
Yep.
but he just was never the same. And like
Never
when
the
people
same.
like talked about the length and production of like Dallas with Dirk, San Antonio with Duncan, and at the same time Kobe and the Lakers, like, yeah, because those guys stayed healthy.
That's right. That's
Webber
right.
was the Kings' best player, and once that happened, they were not the same team.
If Webber does not shred his knee,
yeah, they had more years of that.
They're getting
type
a
of
ring.
team.
They're getting a ring,
or they're competing for another. Like they're
yeah.
in that group of great teams.
I thought they were the best team in 2002. At worst, the second best. They would have torched the Nets. 2003, what were they? They won 60 something in 03.
Well, I think the 02 they were actually a better record, but 03 was they were just so much deeper. That's when Jim Jackson, Keon, like just, the bench was so good to go with everybody they already had. Now they had experience. They had the scars. Like
to your point, though, I do still. I kind of I don't want to put that poll out because I don't want to drive the stake home again. But like also, I kind of think Ori would still win.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, but then we're now also to like some people that are 25 and going like,
it's true. I don't know.
I mean, I heard about the shot, but like I didn't live it.
Yeah, like the Robert Horry shot now to an entire generation of people is like it's like the World War I or something.
Yeah.
Like you read about it in history books and you know it was terrible.
It was almost the 1900s.
Right, but you don't experience it. Like the Robert Horry shot is so funny. The Robert Horry shot now is the equivalent of something happening in what hold on a second. In 2002,
23 years ago.
So would have been what 78?
79.
79.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
That's weird.
People weren't even here.
People today thinking about the Ori shot would be the equivalent of thinking about something that happened in 1979 when the Ori shot
like
happened.
Bird Magic in college. Yeah.
We're all, oh my God, we're so old, Jason.
I was 1, by the way. Just to let you guys know.
I was 1.
Was that Howard or Anthony? Interesting that you said you'd put Ori fourth. You would put Ori fourth.
I think Ori would win.
You're right, but
and I think Ori, all of the others are like process things that took a while to develop and only grew and hurt as they went along. Like those, the Luka thing, the Tyrese thing, and the Webber thing, even though you knew the Webber thing, those were all, I would say this, those were all kicks to the junk that eventually spread over your. This was a bat. The Ori shot was a bat to the head.
Yeah.
But again, it was one shot.
Yeah. Luka was pretty quick to develop.
Yes.
And honestly, if we revisit, like there was a time the very first year, or not the first year, but the first full season of Sabonis, that's the 3 seed. That's the Beam team. Pacers aren't in the playoffs. I mean, we're saying the joke. Kings won the trade. You know, there were times where you're going, like, look, all NBA. Kings did well here. And then, you know, now as time goes on, Pacers have thrived. Haliburton's been amazing. And last night did it again.
Well, as we've seen before. I mean, you know, the real easy way to know that who won the trade is such a surface argument is keeps a bonus on the Pacers, put Haliburton here, and do all the other moves the Pacers did, and do none of the moves the Kings didn't do. I don't think it's as simple as if Haliburton stayed here, the Kings would be in the finals right now.
I don't think so.
I don't think so at all. That being said, we'll take a break. When we come back, long segment for you. We're going to talk about the future of Jake LaRavia here, since we want to intersperse some, you know, interesting Kings news.
He
coming up
spoke. He had some good quotes.
But before that, former Mayor Daryl Steinberg. There's a big vote on Tuesday. The stadium at the rail yards is coming. And he was a huge part of the deal. It's very important to me to speak about this over the next 3 days because we are very much obsessed with the growth of Sacramento and having more things to do. This is a big deal. I want to talk about how good this deal is and how much I like this deal for the city of Sacramento and get somebody who helped write the deal together on here as well to help educate us. We'll do that next.
Visit SacktownSports.com and join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad. Right now, get a free select DeWalt, Craftsman, or Cobalt tool with purchase of a select battery kit. Plus, get a free Werner 2-foot aluminum ladder when you buy an 8-foot fiberglass ladder. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. And visit them at calldowntown.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. Anthony in for a vacationing Christopher Law. A lot of stuff to get to in this segment. We're going to talk about Jake LaRavia in just a segment, but wanted to bring on an old friend, not just of ours, but of the city.
Once the mayor, always the mayor.
Yeah, that's the saying.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like we talked about earlier, when someone is a president and then they stop being, their term ends, you still call them Mr. President. Uh-huh. So I think it's a mouthful to say, good morning, Mr. Former Mayor.
Right.
So I think it's still Mr. Mayor. Welcome in, Daryl Steinberg. It's Dave and Jason. Good morning.
Good morning, Dave and Jason. Just don't call me the formerly honorable. That's all I ask.
The honorable.
Yeah, always honorable.
Daryl Steinberg.
It's great to be with you guys again.
Before we get started, we were asking each other, I wonder, now that your mayoral career is over, we took some guesses. How are you filling your time? Have you gotten into video games? Are you podcasts? Are you binging old TV series? How have you been filling the time?
Well, let me just say on Tuesday nights, I watch more Giants games than I ever have before, because I'm not at City Hall. No, I'm not retired. I'm working. I'm trying to mediate labor strikes, and I joined a law firm, the Manat Law Firm, and I'm trying to build a little bit of a business and a practice here. I'm going to write a book. Hey. I still have my mental health advocacy institute, and so I didn't want to retire. I just thought after 8 years as mayor that it was time. I think season for everything in life. I had 30 years of public service that was good and great, difficult at times, sometimes even painful, but I loved it, and yet I'm like loving life, and I'm still going to serve, always serve, man, and so I'm doing just fine in life. Thank you, and I love serving Sacramento. Always love Sacramento.
Dave, do you think the mayor has a resume and had to sit in for a job interview?
Oh my God!
Could you imagine that? You and I were waiting in the hallway, we're excited about this job, and then he walks in, yeah, he's getting it.
Good luck, Mr. Steinberg.
You know what? I'm trying to learn LinkedIn. I don't know any of this stuff. It's ridiculous. What do I do?
So we just wanted to have a really quick chat because today, Monday, Tuesday. With everything coming up Tuesday night at City Council, which you don't have to sit through 4 hours anymore. There's
coming. I'm going to go, by the way.
I know you'll be, but you don't have to be banging the gavel. And if there's malarkey and hullabaloo, you can just watch it like the rest of us. But there's the stadium is on the table. Now there was a vote in November as well. This is another vote. I don't know if there's going to be another vote down the road to reassess the vote of the voting. But as we know, it's California, so we all move like molasses sometimes. But you're in a unique spot to talk about this because as state senator, you paved the way environmentally and in many other ways to help keep the Kings here with Golden One Center on the horizon and assuring David Stern that would get built. That was a huge, massive deal. Doesn't happen without that. Then you're here, you're on the deal. You know the ins and outs of the Golden One Center deal, and despite COVID, has been a great deal for the city. I think we can all agree, and I include our current mayor, that it was a great deal for the city of Sacramento. Now we're coming up on a stadium again, another underdeveloped, or in this case, not really developed area of Sacramento, as they say, on the front porch of the city. Maybe not as big, not as expensive, not as this, not as that. But Mr. Mayor, it seems like this is yet another very important step in finally getting those rail yards, not an eyesore, but something that, whatever the opposite of an eyesore is.
Well, to quote Buster Posey from earlier this week, it's go time again in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. And I have confidence, actually, that Mayor McCarty and the city council are going to approve this on Tuesday. I think Mayor McCarty has been and continues to be very supportive. And this is good and great for Sacramento for a variety of reasons. Number one, you look at the history of the rail yards. For decades, this has been the single largest undeveloped parcel of infill property west of the Mississippi. And yes, there have been some advances, the courthouse, some housing, by the way, including affordable housing, and some other important projects. But really, this is the moment, because this is not only going to be an iconic soccer stadium, it is going to be it's going to result in a major music venue, and it's going to result in a huge amount of mixed-use development to the east of the soccer stadium. Remember, this isn't just soccer. It's a whole lot more. And so this is an opportunity to, in some ways, double the size of our downtown. And when you match that with the fact that our wonderful city aspires for so much more, including big-time soccer. I don't use the term Major League Soccer because as far as I'm concerned, we are Major League. But for 8 years of my mayorship, we tried, and we did all the right things, by the way, as did Kevin Nagel, always. He deserves an enormous amount of credit. We put ourselves in a position to achieve exactly what the council is going to vote on Tuesday for a variety of reasons. COVID, Ron Burkle, the league, the Major League Soccer pricing everybody out, etc. We didn't quite get there. And then in my last year, we finally found the right investor. We found the Wilton Band, and they are now returning to their ancestral lands. And they are the lead investor. And now we have a deal that is going to stick. And by the way, though it will start as USL, which is every bit as major league as anything else, it provides now the much greater potential that we're going to be welcomed into any and all leagues, even bigger leagues. And so, and I'll give you one more. One of the things that made the Golden One Center controversial, even though it was the right thing to do, and I was proud to be a big part of that, was the fact that the city had to pony up $350 or so million out of its parking fund. One of the principles of the Rail Yard Soccer and Development Agreement has always been no direct public money. The only public contribution is investing in infrastructure for the site that everybody wants to develop. And so, the critics may say, well, this is going to take money from the city general fund. No, it isn't. Without this kind of growth, without this kind of economic vitality, you're not going to have the tax revenue. And so this is good and great. I was, really happy to help shepherd this thing through. And it's the culmination of almost a decade of hard work to get us to a point where good and great things are going to happen in those rail yards and for the people of Sacramento.
We're talking with former Mayor Daryl Steinberg. I was going to kind of piggyback off that last part of your answer, Mr. Mayor, as far as the parallels between this potential deal and Golden One, besides the financial and public funding that you just addressed there. Are there any other parallels between that deal and this deal, or some of the differences between the two?
Well, the significant difference, again, for critics especially, is that except for infrastructure, which we ought to be investing in all the time, there is no public money.
Yeah, it's huge.
So the stadium is being privately financed, but the parallels are important. Sacramento once more. I mean, we've crossed that threshold, said it so many times, right? We're a proud center of public service, proud to be the state capital, but now we're so much more. And over the last decade or more, the people have made a conscious decision, even if it isn't everybody, that we want to grow and we want more. We want more sports, more art, more culture, more industry. And this is another huge step in that growth for Sacramento, not just for the city, but for the region as a whole. And I want to emphasize again, it's so important, when you talk to Chairman Tarango and the history of his people, these are their lands. And so we can talk about all the social equity in the world, which, by the way, you never had a bigger housing advocate or labor advocate than me as mayor. But you talk about equity. These are the lands that belong to the Native American people and the Wilton Rancheria. And so that's equity, too. And that's justice. And I'm very confident that the city council is going to approve this. There's every reason to. And, I know someone say, well, there needs to be more affordable housing. Believe me, I'm for affordable housing. In my last year, 2,500 or so housing permits were pulled. Over 1,300 of them were for affordable housing. So we're doing that, and the city's doing that throughout the city. But every project needs to stand on its own. Every project is unique. We know that there are other cities around the region that might want this wonderful opportunity and this asset. And so it's go time. And let's get this done, and let's create the future for the continued future for our city.
Or Mayor Daryl Steinberg joining us. Last thing from me. This is where I get ahead of my skis, and it's always fun to do that in a public forum. But in reading this deal and trying to understand it, and I want to see if I have this right, because I'm not trying to sell the deal. I think the deal sells on its own, but I'm also a citizen, and I think it's important to have these conversations. As I understand it, and again, you're not going to embarrass me. I'm incapable of that. Feel free to correct me. This deal, which isn't just the stadium, but the investment around it, is privately funded. Then we get to the infrastructure. Now, do I understand this right, that there's something called an enhanced infrastructure financing district, or an EIFD? And if I understand this right, the mechanism for infrastructure, which I believe in many, if not most cases, the city does the infrastructure and then people develop on it, that the private groups are actually fronting the money for the infrastructure, so the city didn't have to write a check right away. And then the property the property taxes that will create revenue off of something that is currently mostly dirt and lizards, the property taxes over the next XYZ years that are generated from that are going to go to pay back the infrastructure costs that were funded by the developers. Am I in the ballpark there?
You said it better, Dave, than any former mayor or former politician could say it. That's that's exactly right. Look, here's my belief, and I know sometimes, maybe I'm a little out there. I think the whole city should be an infrastructure finance district. West Sacramento has about 40% of its city as a finance district, because that is a signal to the private sector that we want more infill growth, more industry, more sport, more art. And infrastructure is the way that cities invest in economic development. And so it's a public-private partnership, but without the city having to put a dime of its general fund in a mix. And by the way, without the development, you have much less general fund. And so, we go round and round with some of these things, but growth and smart growth that is what we call infill, that allows people to take public transit, that allows people to walk and bike from where they live to where they work, and are building to where they play. We're building a lot more housing downtown. This is exactly the kind of growth we want. And there's no, the other term that gets thrown around is, well, you're going to gentrify the neighborhood. I shepherded the deal out at Aggie Square, which was the collaboration with UC Davis for a major big life science tech center, multi-billion-dollar investment with Chancellor May. It's beautiful. Well, we set aside a huge mitigation fund for affordable housing because those are existing neighborhoods. And you have to be concerned about the impact of growth on people who live there. The rail yards, that's not an existing neighborhood. That has been undeveloped for decades. And so every project needs to stand on its own. And this project is really, really important and good and great for Sacramento.
And by the way, can I just throw in layman's terms, which is what I understand, I'd much rather have a stadium and a music venue and all this stuff, and rather than have, I'm just using a term like Walmart come in and take the whole property and build their corporate headquarters, and you have to have a pass to get in there, and unless you work there, this isn't just development; it's development that, Jason, you can take your family to.
Civic pride, community, all that.
It's civic pride. Mr. Mayor, before we go, last thing, as I just said, who do you miss more seeing every day, Mike Barnbaum or Mac Worthy?
Who was the second one?
Mac Worthy. Wasn't Mac Worthy speaking?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Mac Worthy. Mike Barnbaum is a great young guy. And, Mac Worthy represents the idea that everybody has a right to state their opinion in this democracy. And so, I'm happy to have done my time and hopefully accomplish some things for Sacramento. And and let's move forward and continue to dream, and not just dream but do.
Well, we'll see you out there Tuesday. Honestly, I'm kind of rooting for a ponytail and a beard. I haven't seen you, but we'll see.
You remember, I don't have much hair, and there's no beard. But I'll see you guys. Right. Great to talk to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate that. That's Daryl Steinberg. You've seen people before that don't have a lot of hair, but they got the ponytail in the back.
You can pull that off.
Yeah. How great would that be? He's just got
it's a clip on.
Just a big loafy beard going like, hey, it shows up in like a giant sweater. Yeah. Shows up in a giant hoodie with the sleeves cut off.
Yeah.
Like, what's up, guys? Let's pass this thing.
Yeah.
Don't mess with D. Stein. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. I'm all out of bubblegum.
That's right. Expect that on Tuesday.
We're going to try to get the current mayor on next week. We'll probably have Kevin drop by too. Something just to look. Honestly, I don't think that I don't recognize, and Jason, you're the same. Like we're ratings grabbing. I don't think talking about environmental tax districts and all of that is the most exciting thing. But
I see the end game, though. You get that concert place, you get that stadium, you get more opportunities, more places to go, more things to do for everybody.
Exactly.
I'm yes for all that.
Go from a Kings game to a basketball game or a concert or whatever, and then you're going to have all the restaurants and different. I mean, it's so funny the way the city looked, 25, 30 years ago, how it looks now, and I really believe. When you look at 2015, 2016 with Golden One Center, and you look at where we're at now, I think we are in one of the biggest growth periods that was really kicked off with the saving of the Kings. And we always talked about that this isn't just about the Kings. It's about the long-term health of the city. We live here. We were born and raised. We're going to die here.
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
I'm so glad there are people that have vision. That's not a strength of mine as far as like when people say something, this is what they want to do. It's like, okay, I can kind of see it, but I need to see it.
Right.
I knew we were on the air then talking about the benefits of a downtown arena, what it would mean.
Yep.
I meant it. I said it. And then it's even better than I thought. Like the reality of what the arena is, it's still amazing. 10 years in.
Yes.
What's grown, what is, what opportunities are down there. I knew that was all possible. And, the worst part about all this is the Kings honestly haven't been that great in this time.
Right.
But like if we had a team that was making consistent playoff runs, even then, how much more?
Dude.
I mean, because the one year that they did have the playoffs there, that was so great downtown. And, if they were doing something like Indiana or OKC's doing, just what that would even be like. So it's awesome. The arena downtown has been so great.
And I'm not going to lie, even if this is me and my just Carmichael Dave. Like for me, this stuff is so important that even if the deal was like, well, it's going to cost the city this and that, and they're going to have to, I'd be like, I don't care. Let's go. I don't even care. Whatever, dude. Throw a 1%. I'll pay it. Whatever. So I can go see, Coldplay.
Yeah.
That's just, and again, I'm not the smartest guy. I get it. A lot of people I understand that. What I love about this and reading through it is like, dude, what is the objection? Like you're getting the development. You're getting billions of development in Sacramento. I'm so tired of coming up I-5 or seeing that big dirt clod in front of all these beautiful buildings.
Mm-hmm.
It really is going to help. They say, well, it's going to change the landscape. Well, it's actually literally going to change the skyline. And I love the idea of coming up, even Golden One Center, and I have nothing bad to say about it. The only thing that kind of stinks about it, and it's not its fault, is like, it's not as on display from the freeways as I'd love it to be, but that had nothing to do with them. This is going to be, you're going to see this while you're on the freeway as you enter into the city, and it's completely privately funded. And even the stuff that the city normally has to pay for, they're like, okay, dude, we're going to pay for the infrastructure. And then you can pay us back over like 9,000 years with these taxes off of property tax that wouldn't exist on this dirt clod. Okay, this shouldn't be we need to explain the deal. This is to me a victory tour that should be congratulations to everybody that's been worrying, whether it's Kevin or Jesus Tarango and the Tribe or Daryl or Kevin McCarty or Todd Donovan, who's been knee deep in all those guys. Like, take a bow. Let's vote this thing through. Better be unanimous. and then let's get building, dude. Let's get building.
Yeah.
Quit screwing around.
Right. I know you're talking about that. I was thinking about one of the early benefits for me going to some of these A's games. And I remember like I'll park across the Tower Bridge. And so when you're coming back from the game, you're like, man, we've got homeless. We got all this stuff. Like, this is a beautiful city.
Yes.
You walk across the bridge, you see the Capitol, the Golden One's right there.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know. There's just so much that's already changed in 25 years. And I look forward to what the next 25 could be if stuff like this comes to fruition.
Good stuff. We'll take a break. Thanks to the mayor. When we come back, the future of Jake LaRavia did a Q&A with Hoops Hype, said some interesting things that caught Jason's eye. I've purposely not listened to it, so that'll be fun to get into. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Then I gotta take off shortly thereafter for
big day.
Big day, dude.
You're graduating. I mean, your daughter is, but you are too, kind of.
I gotta hydrate. I'm gonna lose.
Is your wife doing okay?
My wife's like,
she's a rock.
She's fine. She's just like, what? Quit being sick. Well, she's calling. I can't say what she's doing just fine.
Okay.
She's like,
I was trying to see how she was doing, even though I know I'm asking about you.
I mean, she'll, whatever, there'll be moments, I'm sure, for her or whatever. She's the one that gives them rides to and from every day. I don't mind saying I'm a walking corpse.
Yeah.
I'm hollow on the inside, dude. We'll take a break. We'll come back with all that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No. We tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes. Our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Saturday, June 7th, the Spears Cars Tours West lights up the Stockton 99 Speedway with limited and pro late models, MMI Legends, mini stocks, and NCMA Sprints. Presented to you by Tracy Ford. Gates open at 5, racing at 6. Grab your tickets now at Stockton99.com. Be there.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Switch to Comcast Business Mobile and save hundreds a year on your wireless bill. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Comcast Business Internet required. Compares 2 unlimited intro lines and lowest price 5G plans of top 3 carriers. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds after 30 gigabytes of usage. Data thresholds may vary.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metalwoods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
I saw somebody put this together as a mental exercise for Sacramento fans.
Okay.
The idea is that this is what you would write the day of game one of the Kings in the NBA Finals.
Okay.
We have always believed through this is our year and we'll get them next time. We believed when they overlooked us, when they said we were overrated. We believe because this team is a part of us. It's not just a team. It's our team. Generation standing shoulder to shoulder, heads high, believing even when no one else did. And all this time, we haven't been just waiting our turn. We've been preparing. So here we are together on the edge of what we've all dreamed of with a team that reflects us. Tough, unselfish, committed. We're ready to show the world that we've always believed. In every other city, it's just basketball, but this is Sacramento. Now, I was having a little fun there because that's what the Pacers sent out to their fans yesterday. What I left out was the middle paragraph. When Reggie shocked the Garden, then Tyrese did it again. When Paul rose up, Victor came home, the Davis brothers brought the muscle, and Lance made us dance. Everything else was word for word. I read that yesterday. And again, it was a little bit of a moment of Dickens outside the window, making the circle in the foggy window, looking inside while I'm freezing and everyone's dancing and having a great time and raising a glass of mead or whatever they do.
Yeah.
That's us. And all I can say is this. I know it sounds tired. I know it sounds stupid, but I don't know if that day is ever going to come. I don't. But I can promise you one thing. If that day comes, for every year longer you've been on this earth is a percentage of how much more amazing that is going to feel in ways that almost no one that walks this earth could possibly understand. A 50-year-old is going to feel it different than a 40, than a 30, than a 20, than a 10-year-old. And there will be 50-year-olds overcome because of all the, it's Tim Robbins crawling through 500 yards of crap stinking filth only to come out to the rain and raise his hands to the heavens, the freedom, the rinsing of all the crap off of you. Meanwhile, there's a 9-year-old out there that doesn't know any better that thinks this is the way it should be.
Yeah, it'll always be like this.
It'll always be. I was that kid with the 49ers.
Uh-huh.
And
that's all you knew.
That's all I knew. 4 Super Bowls when I was tiny, and then
This is easy.
1994. There's a 5th. I'm not even 20 years old yet.
It's probably going to happen every couple of years here.
Yep. And here we are, decades later, hits and misses, and it makes you appreciate that. Same way with the Giants. I went my whole life without a Giants champion. Then you get 3 and 5. Okay, great. Well, I may never see another Giants championship again. So these are those times where it's like just.
Yeah, I think that's again. I think they didn't go nearly as far, obviously, but the Beam team, the first one, the original Beam team, was so much fun.
Yes.
For a lot of people, understandably, the Kings hadn't been in these spots. They were having a great season, getting accolades and awards, and they're the NBA's darling. Well, that lasted basically one season. So there's been a couple of seasons that have been tough since. So the next time they're good again, I think the community as a whole will feel that and enjoy that. But what these two communities are going through, man, OKC's never won one. I know they were in Seattle, but they haven't won one there. And then Indiana's never won one. So someone's going to have a heck of a parade.
God, where would the parade be better at? Indianapolis or Oklahoma City? I don't even know. They both be really good.
Yeah.
Both be really good. You know what? Would be better, though? Sacramento.
I agree.
All-time parade.
Yep.
All-time parade.
100%.
I wonder if we could actually get a float in the parade, like in the back, like, away from all the cool people, but like a float where we could somehow have an internet connection and actually do the live show from the parade route.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I like that thinking.
Yeah. All right. Jake LaRavia. Now, you saw this.
Yeah.
You did a Q&A with Hoops Hype. And look, just to be clear, Memphis kind of screwed it up for the Kings with Jake LaRavia because the Kings are very limited. Very limited.
Yeah, since they didn't extend him, they can't sign him for more than he was making. And I got to believe he's going to get offers north of that. I mean, if I'm another team, I would even just offer like $1 million more.
Right.
Whatever number more.
$5 million and one.
Yeah. Just a little bit more because you're like, one, we value, we like you, but also like, hey, we don't want to go too crazy. And
yes.
But what stood out to me about the interview, so there's a bunch of different questions to Jake LaRavia. And basically a couple things that he said, he is a huge fan of Doug Christie. And so much so that he even told the organization that, he's got to look. You've got to look elsewhere. But if they signed Doug as the head coach, he would have huge considerations for coming back. He feels like Doug and him, bonded, and they're very similar type players. And I see that. I mean, Doug Christie and Jake LaRavia have some similar traits to me as players.
I think it's interesting. And, sometimes we get lost, like, like little kids and they don't care about the toy until you take it away. And then we want people to want to stay and then when they leave, we tend to overvalue them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't believe we lost that guy. And and then whatever. Jake LaRavia is interesting. I don't know how good he is.
All right. Here's my example I want to give you to see if you fall in line with this.
Yeah.
I think Jake LaRavia is a Thunder player, if you know what I mean. When we did the examples before, you're like, you look at the roster, you're like, But is he Lou Dort? I don't know. Pick your, he's not SGA.
No.
Obviously. But if you go, Cason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, Lou Dort, Caruso, whatever version of a player in there, you're like, he's good. But you put him on that team, you're like, man, that's a dude. He makes winning plays. He's not the best player. That's not it. But I think if you have a bunch of guys like that, you got a good team. You obviously need a foundation piece or foundation pieces, and the Kings may not have that yet, or maybe they do. But I think if you have more Jake LaRavia type players, he's Keon, he's Keegan, like they're not stars, but they make your team better. And he's a hustle guy.
Yeah.
He even said in his piece, he's like, this year I guarded 1 through 5. He goes, I guarded Curry, I guarded Jokic. Now, again, he didn't stop them.
Right.
He didn't shut them down.
Right.
But the point is he can guard them. And he makes plays. He's valuable. I mean, I think a lot of teams would want him. I guess Memphis even said in his interview, too, on that thing that he was talking about, Memphis kind of regretted that they didn't extend him and keep him for their little bit of a playoff run.
I think it's interesting that you bring up the players you brought up. And I was thinking like a diet, discount diet, great value, relax everybody. I'm not saying he's him, but like an Austin Reeves type as well to go with your comparisons of Dort and
just whatever, like a player on a good team where you go, man,
you've got
they look better on that team.
Right. You've got your in the engine that is a basketball team, you have your oil, your lube, and you have your gears.
Yeah.
And the oil and all that makes everything go around. That's what but you got to have gears. You got to have the little. Jake LaRavia is a gear. Lou Dort is a gear.
Yeah.
And I'm saying Lou Dort. I really need to put more respect on this guy's name being all defensive.
Right. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
These are. Here's the best way I could put it. We've heard this before. You've heard this saying before, where it's like, man, we need more dudes. We need more dudes on this team. Well, what is the definition of that? We can talk about that all day. But everyone kind of understands you say, we need some dudes on this team. He's a dude.
Yeah. I'm just trying to go around the league like I don't know, Gary Payton II on a team on his own, like on a 20-win team. You're like, but on a team that's competing, you're like, man, that guy just makes plays for us. You need him. Whatever. I'm stretching here, thinking of different people, but when he is added to your squad, I see you pulled up Cleveland, like Ty Jerome,
looking at
like
that.
something like that, where you just go, I'm
going to look at all the best teams in the NBA and go, okay, you know what? Sam Hauser is a dude. Okay, these guys are not going to make the All-Star team. And by the way, I don't want to limit Jake LaRavia.
I'm looking. I see Drew Holiday there as well. Maybe he's had a really good career. I'm going too far here, but like Drew Holiday was going to be on Portland this year. He would have helped them, but that team wasn't going anywhere.
That's right.
Put him with Boston, or this was last year. Put him with Boston. You're like, wow, that's a difference maker. Marcus Smart. I mean,
Marcus Smart is a dude.
People like that where you just go, I want that guy on my team. And I think Jake LaRavia, to some level, is that kind of player where, hey, in a pinch, he can start. He should be playing always off the bench. He's in your everyday lineup. He's got to play 4 today. He's going to play 2 today. He's going to guard 3s today.
Yes.
Versatile Swiss Army that you can count on. That's hustle and makes winning plays.
I think honestly, the last 5 minutes of discussion has been really good about him, but I think I'd be making a mistake if I just didn't go back to the first thing you said. He's a Thunder player. He is.
Or when the Spurs were thriving, like, where do they get these guys?
Exactly.
He's that guy.
That's exactly right.
Right?
You could also say, I think he'd fit in very well with Eric Spoelstra in the Heat.
Of course.
You talk about Heat culture.
Yeah, I think he'd fit anywhere. I think he fits here if the Kings can utilize him right.
I think if the Kings could get a culture around Jake LaRavia that, Jake's a Kings player, they're doing really well.
Right.
And I think that's an important line of demarcation between them. He ain't averaging 30 points a game, pulling down 50. He's not that guy. We're not this. He's the guy that Jake LaRavia. I'll finish it this way because I always got to go back to food. Jake LaRavia is like the sprinkle of cinnamon or cumin in a salad, and you take a bite, depending on the type of salad and the spice. You take a bite and you're chewing. It's a really good salad. What is it about this? There's something about this salad that's really good, and I can't put my finger on it. I know it's not the beautifully cooked chicken. I know it's not the arugula. I know what all that is. That's a great avocado, maybe some hard-boiled, whatever. You know what all these ingredients, but there's something else there that I can't put my finger on that's really pushing the salad over the top.
Yeah.
Jake LaRavia is the cinnamon. He's that guy.
Exactly.
When we come back, I say we, it's he and Anthony, because I am off to. Apparently, I've just heard there is a line around the block, like I think my wife said it's like a new album dropped or something, for the $15 a car parking.
Sounds like a cash grab.
Cash grab, exactly. So I'm off to
enjoy.
Graduate. Yeah, I will. I'll enjoy it. It'll also be very difficult, but I'll enjoy it.
Okay.
I can tell you this much. I don't know what my energy is going to be like, but I know the energy in the room is going to be that of celebration, of this, of that, of so much more. For my friends at American Energy Heating and Air, speaking of my daughter graduating today, she'll be off to USC in the fall, and that means I need to pinch every penny I possibly can. I know, Jason. I am sorry. She'll be off to college. How's that in the fall? College ain't cheap. I need every piece of I need it all, man. And so a few months ago, when they came out to my house and replaced my furnace and my AC unit, you're already seeing the results of not only the peace of mind of knowing it's going to work, beautiful warranties on the whole thing, but also knowing that those energy costs are going to go down. And I need that because Smud was killing me yesterday, man. I need all that I can get. So whether you're looking to replace your unit entirely, hey now, or you're looking to get a $24.50 tune-up and the peace of mind knowing that it's going to last, or at least the odds of it lasting are a lot better when you know it's all tuned up in case there's some surprises in there. No surprises with American Energy Heating and Air. Regular price, $50, $24.50. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Been serving the greater Sacramento since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau. Or go online, AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jason still has Louis C.K. tickets in just about an hour, including who's hot, who's not. More on the NBA Finals. Kings coaches, not I say that plural, in line for the Knicks job, even beyond the one we mentioned. And, of course, Friday, fun and games. A great hour ahead of you. I will see you Monday. Jason will see you in just a couple minutes.
Visit SacktownSports.com and join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
According to Bogey Jones in the Daily Divot, golf is the best sport ever, and they provide a few reasons why. Some include no two courses are the same, so you'll never get bored. Some are wicked long, others have super thick rough, and others have fast greens. Enjoy the variety. You can make the game competitive with anyone. With other sports, bigger, stronger, younger opponents may have an edge. In golf, different tees and a formal handicap system makes it competitive, even if you're a 30 handicap. Golf can't be conquered. One day you can't miss a shot, the next day you want to throw all your clubs into the lake. The unpredictability is fascinating, and age is just a number. You can play when you're 70 years old. In fact, some don't take up the game until later in life, but don't wait that long. And you'll meet amazing people, celebrities, athletes, successful CEOs. You never know who you'll meet on a golf course. And oh yeah, it's a game. So have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hi, I'm Alan Stiles. Injured at work? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they've won over $500 million in settlements. Downtown LA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay zero up front. Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
All right. Back here, show rolling along. Jason Ross. No Carmichael Dave. He's off to graduation for Avery. Congrats to Avery. But it is time to find out who's hot and who's not. Anthony, who is hot?
Rick Carlisle and the Pacers.
Okay.
There's been 3 15-point comebacks in the fourth quarter in the NBA Finals since 1971. And he was the coach for 2 of the teams that did that.
Was that the Mavs or the Pistons? Okay.
2011 Mavs. Do you want to guess the other team that he was not a coach of?
I don't know that one.
The 92 Bulls.
Oh, okay.
All of them won a championship, by the way.
What are you saying? Is this should we be getting ready to crown the Pacers?
Yeah, I think that it's actually foolproof to go off that stat
Exactly.
and give them the championship already.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I will say by them winning certainly made it a lot more interesting because I think most people had the Thunder winning, maybe in 4 or 5, some 6. By winning the first game, certainly it's obviously got to be 5 or more. And the Pacers have got to be building a bunch of confidence here, which I do like. So Sunday will be interesting for game 2. We're going to have more on that coming up as far as adjustments. So we got who's hot. We got to find out the other side of things, who is not.
The Thunder in the second half yesterday were not hot.
Okay.
They were outscored by 13 in the second half, and they lost in the last 0.3 seconds of the game.
Only time they trailed. The crowd just was stunned. I like games like that too, by the way, Anthony, when I'm okay if people call timeouts, but it's like sometimes the end of games can take a half hour. And it was, hey, the Pacers are getting really close. There was the but the review of the out of bounds. Was it a foul? I'm like, no, Siakam definitely touched it. But, they may be looking at a foul. Okay. So they go to commercial. You're like, it's still a 1-point game. There's 20 seconds left. And you're still thinking, well, we got a long way to decide all this. And they come out of the timeout, say, nope, no foul, Thunder ball. Okay. Oh, wow, 14 on the shot clock. Yeah, they don't have to foul. SGA misses, rebound, outlet. Oh my gosh, here we go. This is it. And then Haliburton scores, and it all happened so fast. You're like, they're leading. They're 0.3. They're probably going to win.
And they had a timeout.
And they did have a time. I think they had at least one.
Yeah.
And OKC had one. Then they used that or two of them, I think, because they used that to advance the ball.
It was crazy because it looked like they got stopped at half court too. Like,
yeah, and Tyrese even had a couple of
of
hesitation dribbles. I mean, he did get to his right side, which I think was kind of schematically a little bit of an error there on the Thunder. But and even there was like I think multiple people said that's not even like Tyrese is good about getting all the way to the hoop or dribbling in and then stepping back like that dramatic step back three. And he kind of was in between. So it didn't all look that smooth or that clean, but the result was sweet.
Yeah.
For him.
What are they doing at halftime, man?
What are they doing at halftime? Found a way. So they are up 1-0. We're going to get more into this series in a moment. There you go. That's who's hot and who's not. Jason Ross in. Anthony is here. Chris is on a vacation for the foreseeable future, forever. Once we pulled the prank on Dave, Chris is just never coming back. No, Dave's on his way to his daughter's graduation. So we'll take you home from here until 10. Alan Stiles will be with us in the next hour to close things out, to promote his show. We'll have Friday fun and games. So we've got all that coming up, but let's take care of one other bit of business here. It is time to go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
Streaking. We're streaking. Come on. What are we doing? We're streaking. By the way, Mark on the chat. J. Ross, what's your take on Aaron Rodgers signing? Finally. I actually think it's good. I was not a fan of the hype that the Jets got in New York. I thought it was too much. It was a little bit of a kid, and it's happening again. I've seen ESPN, the powerful juggernaut that they are. This was a couple seasons ago. They did this with Chicago. They said they put Justin Fields in the MVP conversation. Will this be the year Fields wins the MVP? I'm like, Fields? Wait, why? What? They're doing a little bit right now with Caleb Williams. I'm like, can the Bears just win 9 games, 10 games, 11 games? Like, he's good. He'll be fine. But last year, everybody was like, the Jets, the favorite to get the Super Bowl. No, they're not. They weren't, and they shouldn't have been. Oh, this defense with Rodgers healthy. What? No. And then they had a terrible year. But all that being said, I actually think it'll be good in Pittsburgh. I think it's a good spot. I think they'll figure it out. Not picking to get out of the AFC, but I think it'll be a good home for him. All right, streaking, the results going into yesterday. Dave was at 0. I was at 7. Chris is at 3. Anthony will be participating today. So Dave at 0 went with Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt got up 3 times in game 1 of the doubleheader. We always count the first game, and he got a hit from Witt. So Carmichael Dave is at 1, but all eyes are on me. Let's be honest. Come on. A 7-game hitting streak thanks to Aaron Judge, Lars Nootbaar, Ronald Acuna Jr., Elliot Ramos, Francisco Lindor, Bobby Witt Jr., and Jeremy Pena. And yesterday, I went with the San Diego Padres leadoff hitter, Fernando Tatis Jr. So happy when he had that one hit that he bat flips and he's admiring. It didn't leave the park, and he got up 4 times and he went 0 for 4. The streak is over. The streak is over. Thank you, Fernando.
Sorry, it's over. It's over now. It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Fernando. I have to start at 0. Dave's at 1. I'm at 0. Chris was at 3, thanks to Jacob Wilson, Jackson Holiday, and Aaron Judge. Yesterday, he picked Shohei Ohtani. Shohei got up 4 times. Shohei got 2 hits. So Chris is now the show leader at 4. I'm at 0. Dave is at 1. They have given me their picks. Dave is going to take Freddie Freeman of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Chris is taking Jarren Duran of the Red Sox. I'm taking Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners. Anthony, your first entry this year, who are you picking?
I'm going to pick Bryce Harper of the Phillies.
Wow, you can pick anybody. You take Bryce Harper. He's actually a very good player. There you go, Bryce Harper. All right, there we go. We've got streaking accomplished. Maybe the most intriguing question I've seen in a long time from our chat, and I'm probably going to ask you for some help on this, Anthony, because you've observed the show, you've been a part of the show at different times, but you're coming in working today and some of the days next week. Tom Too Witty says, if the morning show was a food truck, what would it be?
Wow.
See, I'm too close to it, so I'm curious what kind of food truck would we be with myself and Dave and Chris?
Maybe an ice cream truck.
That
go
is
around.
A fabulous answer.
Yeah.
That's the answer I would want it to be, but I didn't think you were going to go there.
Yeah, you're going around the neighborhood
playing songs. Some people afraid of us, others running towards us.
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably a good answer. It's probably the right answer. Okay.
Yeah, you like that one? You think it's the correct one?
I do. Actually, it is official. I have the answer key. It is the correct answer.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. Others say chicken and biscuits.
That's good too. I like that.
All right. These are the important questions we definitely need. Thank you for that. We appreciate that. And by the way, all of you can chime in on our YouTube. We say hello to you each and every day that you partake in the show. We thank you, our YouTube regulars that have your own conversations going on the side. MC says crepes with cheddar and Granny Smith apples. Very specific food truck. Okay, thank you to all of you. And if you want to hit us up on the text line, 916-339-1140. Very good question, though. We do appreciate that. All right, coming up in the next hour, jam-packed hour for you, as we always do on Friday. We end with some fun Friday fun and games. We will have celebrity birthdays. The Kings are nowhere a part of the NBA Finals. Well, kind of. We've seen Tyrese Haliburton work his magic. But there's some former Kings coaches that are now headlining the rumors for the Knicks job. Okay, we will explain that coming up. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Game 2 of the Finals. Game 1 was a stunner. We'll relive that a little bit. Game 2 adjustments coming up. We'll be discussing that. But as we go to break in this hour, your chance right now to win a pair of tickets to see Louis C.K. at the Venue at Thunder Valley. That's coming up soon, June 14th. Enjoy a night full of laughs with the first comedian to sell out Madison Square Garden 3 times for the same tour. That's Louis C.K. is bringing his ridiculous tour to the Venue at Thunder Valley Saturday, June 14th. And we want to send you and a friend to experience it all. Looking for lucky caller number, we'll go with number 3. Number 3 to score a pair of tickets to the show. Call right now, 1-800-920-1140 or 916-339-1140. Caller number 3, you will be the lucky winner of the Louis C.K. tickets. All right, Game 1 was a thriller. We'll relive it. And adjustments for Game 2 for both the Pacers and the Thunder. We've got that for you next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, looking for something positive in the midst of a dismal stretch for the A's, center fielder Denzel Clark, finishing his second weekend in the big leagues and playing in his hometown of Toronto, went 4 for 9 with a home run in the last 3 games of the series, and also made a sensational Spider-Man leaping catch over the wall in center field, robbing Alejandro Kirk of a home run. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West Trading 2011 renewed. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, final hour of the week. It's been a fun week. Great game one. Game one was awesome last night. It's fun for me, I have to say. I really don't honestly have a rooting interest. And I know there's plenty of Kings fans out there that, well, I shouldn't say it this way. I think that's more, and Dave and I talked about it before, it's more of a social media thing. It kind of there's a portion of people that are anti-Tyrese Haliburton. There's probably some Kings fans like, oh, he was a King. I love Tyrese Haliburton. And some on the other side. I like the fact that neither team has won a championship. Like if we kind of cut to the core there, I know we could say Seattle won one as the Sonics, but this is the Thunder team. I'm taking the Thunder and the Pacers. Neither one has won a championship. So I love that. So I root for that in general. Now that we got both there, I like OKC. I don't have anything against Indiana. I kind of then go to who do I know that likes each team, the broadcasters I know. I generally lean underdog. In this case, it's the Pacers. And if I really if I have a slight lean, it would probably be for me to the Pacers, but I'm really not rooting for either team. And the slight lean would be 1, underdog, 2. I don't see a window where I see the Pacers winning a bunch of titles. I think they're good. I think they're going to be a good team. And like Cleveland's been a good team, like Denver and other teams that have been good, but I just don't see a bunch of championships coming their way, at least right now. So this is a good chance for them where OKC is so well positioned, and I could see them becoming a team that if they win a bunch where you're like, all right, cool, you got one, now you have 2, you have 3. Like, I'm ready for someone else. They're not there by any means. They don't have one yet, and they might not win this one. I still think they will. But I guess, like I said, if I'm rooting it, I don't even know that I am, but it would be 51% for the Pacers, 49% for the Thunder. I want great games. And we had a great game one. Game one was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And a lot of times in a series, when I'm looking at them and when they go on, there's usually 50-50 games. And when you're trying to win a best of 7, you got to win the 50-50 games. This one, by the end, by the definition of it, I think if people didn't see the game and you watched it in the end, you're like, oh, that could have gone either way. No, this did not feel like a 50-50 game. The Thunder were ahead for the majority of the game, all but the last 0.3. But they had kind of control of the game for the majority of the game. And there was multiple times where Indiana was doing the Indiana thing. And I thought one of the big sequences of the game was like OKC is ahead. They feel like they're the better team. They're the heavy favorite. And I believe even in the broadcast, they're talking, there's like about 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and the lead's around 13-14, somewhere in that neighborhood. Like if they could get this to single digits, this would be really big. And sure enough, there they are right around single digits. And I remember they got it to 6 right at the end of the quarter. And right before the end of the quarter, SGA hits one of those step back threes, and it's 9. You're like, 9 felt like a ton to me compared to 6. The Thunder also had the first possession of the fourth quarter, got a hoop. It's now 11. The first shot of the fourth quarter for the Pacers was a bad one. And then they fouled on the other end and 2 free throws, and it's 13. You're like, yeah, it was. Remember when it was 6? And now it's 7-0 in less than a minute, and it's 13. Crowd's going nuts, and it's just like, I don't think it's happening. And then, they're staying close enough. Oh, it's back down to 7. It's 11 again. Here it gets to 6. It's back to 13. And then where maybe I was starting to think, you know what? They might be able to do this. And I believe it was Neesmith, I can't remember who, took a really hard drive when they were down 3 or 1 maybe even. And Dort ends up with a block. Looked like he fouled him to me in real time. I don't even remember how many times they reviewed or looked at it again. But they go the other way. SGA takes a tough hoop and scores. It's back to 3. It's like, yeah, or maybe even 5 at the time. It's like, that's probably enough. But they stayed close. They gave themselves a chance. And here's how it sounded for Indiana radio.
Whoever gets it's going to have to shoot it immediately. Caruso from the near side hash. Flips it toward the goal, and Turner tipped it. The game ends with Indiana winning 111 to 110 on the 1 to 100 scale of improbability. This was, 117?
I was going to go with 1,000. Simply
but
shocking.
And that's the Pacers radio crew. They've seen this team do what they've done in this postseason. And let's go to the moment that got us here.
Rebound, Indiana. 8 seconds to go. The Pacers are not going to call a timeout. Haliburton has it with 3, driving with 2, pulling up, and hitting with 0.3 of a second to go. How many more times can this team do that?
Sweet baby.
Wow. Incredible what the Pacers were able to do yesterday, how they did it. They just stayed with it. I know there was post-game analysis on all sorts of different networks and different things. I thought one of the things that was really telling, I was watching SportsCenter after the game, and SVP, amongst different guests, had Brian Windhorst. And Brian Windhorst had told relayed a story that he had talked to some of the Pacers people. And some of them were, some of their higher ups and officials and whoever, knows game plan and scheme. And it basically said, look, I don't know how we're going to do this, but we basically probably have to have OKC in this building. They're probably going to get ahead. We're going to have to just try to stay close and then put ourselves in a spot to win and let Haliburton create some magic. And it was like, that's exactly what happened. They never led in the game till the end. They were a complete mess early. I mean, turnover after turnover after turnover. I think as OKC looks back at this game, they'll go, we should have taken more advantage of that. It's what we do best. We lead the league in forcing turnovers, lead the league in capitalizing on them. The final stat line had Indiana turning the ball over 25 times. You don't win games like that, especially against the best team in the league. The best team in the league converted that to 11 points. Conversely, OKC turned it over 7 times, so 18 less. Pacers only got 4 points out of that. But when the Pacers shot the ball, they were making it. They needed to get shot attempts. They shot 48% for the game, hit 18 threes, did a good job on free throws. dominated the boards. And when you're looking at scheme and game plan, Dave and I yesterday said, like, let's make a case for Indiana on how they could win this series. That was really difficult to do. They're the heavy underdogs. The one thing I said, though, one unknown is the matchup. When we actually see them play, what will this look like? And I'm not saying it's the reason the Thunder lost, but my eyebrows were raised before the game, minutes before, when it was announced that they were making a lineup change. They were benching Isaiah Hartenstein and starting Cason Wallace. This isn't a reflection on Cason Wallace. This is akin to a story that I remember years ago. If we take you back to the We Believe Warriors against the Dallas Mavericks were the heavy favorite, the best team. Dirk Nowitzki's the MVP that year. And it's a mismatch. I mean, the Warriors, they're not going to be able to beat this team. Don Nelson was the coach then. Keith Smart, who eventually became a coach with the Kings, was an assistant. And Avery Johnson was the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. And the story that I remember Keith Smart telling me over years ago was they're getting ready for the series. They're coming up with their game plan. They're like, we need them to go small. If they can go small, we have a chance. And it's before game one, and Avery Johnson, it was a 60-plus win Dallas team, benches Eric Dampier as starting center and plays small. And Don Nelson comes in the locker room and says, we got him. We got him. And it's like, well, okay, you're the 8 seed. They're the 1. Like, I don't know that you got them, but you got this team to adjust. And the Warriors ended up winning the series. Not saying this is the exact parallel, but it's a little bit weird when you're the best team by far. That other team needs to figure you out, and you make the switch. Now, Wallace has been good. You still played Hartenstein off the bench. It's a team that played a little bit small at different times during the year. But if you look at minute distribution, Hartenstein played 17 minutes. Chet Holmgren played 23. Both of them, for Hartenstein, it was about 8 minutes less than he normally plays. For Chet Holmgren, who I didn't think had a very good game, played about 4 to 5 minutes less than he normally played. At the end of the game, OKC was very small. Again, plus minus isn't the true overall indicator of a game, but the worst plus minus, Cason Wallace, minus 13. The Pacers were able to play small. They took Turner out at about the 3-minute mark at the end of the game and played with Nesmith, Siakam at the 5, Nembhard, Haliburton, and I believe it was Obi Toppin. So I think it fell a little bit in line in that chaos that we talked about earlier, that Dave played that clip of Nash and LeBron about the chaos that Indiana can create, and they kind of got it into their wheelhouse. And so if I'm OKC, I think I go back to see, like, can you play the 2 bigs with us? And see if that is a thing. I mean, that would be one adjustment, or you can even leave it as the starting lineup, but get the 2 bigs in a little bit more. I think the smaller lineup, when Toppin was in, he was a plus 13. I think the fact that the adjustments Rick Carlisle made, where he took Tyrese Haliburton off the ball a ton and had Nembhard handle the ball a lot more, was very ideal for them. It was very impressive what he was able to do. Let's hear from Rick Carlisle on getting the win and still what's ahead.
We haven't been celebrating a whole lot with anything, really, and that's some of that is our experience last year. So some of it is Pascal having been through, this kind of a run and getting to the finals before. We know we have a lot of work to do, and we have to play a lot better. I mean, 19 turnovers and a half is, if it's not a record for the finals, it's got to be up there, close to it. And they're a menace, defensively. And we too often took it into crowds, and then, other times they just take the ball out of your hands. I mean, it's just, it's the level of their defense is
what? We didn't get it. We didn't get the rest. But they create havoc. And I think what's ironic is the Pacers won the game, and I feel like they can still make some more adjustments here. They didn't handle that pressure very well. They did turn the ball over a ton. Now they cleaned it up a bit in the second half. Let's get a little bit more here from Tyrese Haliburton on his own confidence.
After you have a run like last year, and then you get swept in the Eastern Conference Finals, and all the conversation is about is how you don't belong there and how you lucked out to get there and that it was a fluke, guys are going to be pissed off. We're going to spend the summer pissed off. And then you come into the year with all the talk around how it was a fluke. You have an unsuccessful first couple months, and now that's easy for everybody to clown you and talk about you in a negative way. And I think as a group, we take everything personal. Like as a group, it's not just me, it's everybody. I feel like that's the DNA of this group. And that's not just me, that's our coaching staff does a great job of making us aware of what's being said. Us as players, we talk about it in the locker room, we talk about it on the plane. We're a young team, so we probably spend more time on social media than we should. But I just think we do a great job of taking things personal. And that gives this group more confidence, and we turned things around in January, which you guys know, and we just stuck with it. And I'm really proud of this group, and we just all got each other's back at every point. Any negative thing that's said about anybody, we got full belief in each other.
It's easier to say this after the fact, but I just believe kind of fundamentally in this. I also love the fact that Rick Carlisle didn't call a timeout. I mean, look, I think if you have trust in your team, you have the opposing team that had look, OKC has two-way players all over the floor, but if there was some concern about getting even other better defensive players on the floor, you avoided that by not calling timeout. You got the ball into the guy who's turning out to be one of the most clutch players we've seen in the last 25 years. I mean, he's been in the moments, whether you like it or not, Kings fans. Tyrese Haliburton has done it. And, it's if they didn't score, I'm sure today, why didn't they call a timeout? I just think if you kind of consistently foul when you're up 3, and to avoid a team by shooting a 3, if you consistently say to the same kind of principles. Now, if they had gotten the rebound and kind of got trapped in the backcourt, call the timeout. But there was a flow to it, and it was a little bit off and on, and maybe the off and on and the hesitations helped in the end outcome. But credit to the Pacers, credit to Tyrese Haliburton for making that incredible shot, and then the moment they were in, and for them to stay with it, and Rick Carlisle believing in his team, and it gave us for an incredible Game 1. Game 2 is Sunday. We got to wait a couple days, but looking forward already to Monday for that breakdown as well. All right, when we come back, more to get to, including what to watch in celebrity birthdays. But when we come back, there is still a coaching opening in the NBA, and it's in New York, and a couple of outlets in New York are mentioning multiple former Kings coaches as candidates for this job. We'll let you know who next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
If there's one thing we know about dads, it's that they're not easy to shop for. Enter Kohl's. They've got everything from Nike golf gear to his favorite Levi's jeans. And you can save 20% on other finds like Flex Athleisure and Izod workwear. So if you're not sure what to get dad for Father's Day, you know where to go. Shop Kohl's now. Select styles. Offer ends June 15th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons do not apply to Nike and Levi's. See store at Kohls.com for details.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Pacers have it, 7 seconds. Haliburton across the timeline with 5, down 1. Haliburton dancing on Wallace. Pulls up right wing, arcs it, and sticks it with 0.3 of a second to play. Pacers lead 111-110 with 0.3 of a second to play. Timeout Thunder.
That was the call from the Oklahoma City Thunder Radio Network, Matt Pinto. A couple things from the text line. The lane violation was bizarre. Like, really? That's from Folsom Mike. That was kind of bizarre. Very emphatic. That was it John Goebel that came in. It's like, okay. Lane violation.
They did all go.
Everybody
but
did.
They do it almost every time.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, we'll let this one go. No, not now. We're calling this one.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bizarre. All right. This one is a good one, too. 916 says this. Jason, do you consider Haliburton a superstar now? SGA is the MVP. I can't think of one big playoff moment he has had. Hallie has 4 this season alone. SGA had 38 points last night, but Hallie hit the biggest shot of the game. Isn't that a superstar rising to the moment? Yeah, I mean, just the two between the two. SGA had a chance to kind of put it to 3. Now he missed, but I mean, it's a really interesting conversation that there's probably a ton of nuance for. I can't reiterate how impressive it is that Tyrese Haliburton, one, has been in this moment this much. SGA, to your point, yes, has not had very many big game-winning shots like this. They're not in this moment that often. They usually win by a ton. That's not his fault. That's not. But the fact that, I mean, it could have been Toppin. It could have gone to Nembhard. It's always to Tyrese Haliburton. If you think about the 4 they've shown this year, there's a big drive late in the Bucks game. He has the ball. That one makes sense. The one in the Cavs series, he missed the free throw. Somehow he got the ball back and circled out and took a 3. That was absolutely amazing. The Knicks one, maybe the most, well, I don't know. This one's probably going to be more iconic than the one that bounces off the back of the rim and goes through. And then last night, he did it again. But I don't know where to go with Tyrese Haliburton. He's going to have some of the greatest moments in NBA history. The parallel, though they're not the same player, but I guess I'm trying to make this point, is Robert Horry has some of the biggest shots in the history of the league. He's not a superstar, but he has some of the greatest moments in the history of the league. Steve Kerr has some iconic moments. John Paxson. I mean, there's a lot of people that do, but it's such a fine line of what a superstar is. But I got to tell you, if Haliburton keeps doing this or keeps playing at a level like he's a multiple all-star and carries franchises to it's hard to say no, but I think right now I'm saying no. But I don't know. I feel like, am I cheating him, Anthony? Is that not fair?
I don't know. I
like,
think
what is a superstar?
There's like an element of celebrity to it, in my opinion. And I like
then
Anthony
he's probably
Edwards,
that.
That's what I think as well, because of the celebrity part. If you're just going off basketball, then I don't think that it's really, he's not, in my opinion, like a top 5 player. And if you're going like tiers and superstars, the top tier of basketball player talent wise, I don't think he's there.
I agree.
But if you're going like you can be in an ad and people are going to know who you are. If my mom knows who you are, you know, my mom, we watched the game yesterday. My mom's a very casual fan.
And she knew who
she said OKC doesn't have any big names.
Interesting.
And she knew who Tyrese Haliburton is.
Okay.
Obviously from Sacramento, so that makes a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, but
she didn't know the MVP of the league.
Yeah. No,
And
that's an interesting
weird.
case study.
Yeah.
Where I think like part of it's years in history and whatever, you know, I know the thing we've done a lot is like you put 20 NBA players at Arden Fair Mall besides the fact that they're so tall, but like Steph Curry's walking through, everybody knows who he is. LeBron, everybody knows who he is. I mean, if you saw Wembanyama, you're like, he's just too tall. Like if you could somehow eliminate the height part of it, but how many people would know who SGA is walking through there? And
I imagine it's quite a bit. The example is very casual fan wouldn't know.
Right.
But it was also a debut game for his signature shoe. Did you know that?
I did.
That was the first time.
For who? Haliburton.
For Haliburton.
Okay. No, I did not.
Which is, that's like its typical superstar moment.
Yeah.
Like he got to post it. It's got to be the shoes after the game. You know, like that's such a big part of being an NBA superstar, in my opinion, is like this weird marketability.
Yeah.
And he's really building that this postseason.
He is. And part of it, I think he also understands the branding. Like he does a good job of like, he's not afraid to play the heel, like doing the whole choke thing to the Knicks and kind of that wrestling background that he's got. You know, we had this conversation 25 years ago. Like, was Chris Webber a superstar? To me, I thought the answer was yes. there were other people that said no, like he's a star, but like the nuance of the difference, you're like, I don't know. But Tyrese Haliburton, my goodness, could you have again, to have this many moments, that's where it's really rare. Like for people to come through, like SGA had more points, more production. And Tyrese even said it. I didn't think he had that great of a game. He had the moment, though.
No, he would have been slammed today if they did not win.
Early on, too, I remember we had the stat yesterday about Lou Dort, how well he's defended him. I mean, we were about not a quarter into the game, but like 8 minutes into the game. I'm like, Haliburton can't even breathe. Like, he's not doing anything. He was getting some rebounds, and then he hit a three. And it's like, okay, there's 1 point. There's three. Then he hit another one, but he was quiet for a lot of the game, but he had the moment.
Part of the reason they went to Nembhard to be the primary ball handler is because of how poorly Haliburton was doing with the ball pressure. Something I was talking to you about off air was the amount that the OKC doesn't crash the glass.
Yeah.
They run back and they
Pacers,
yeah. And it was really tough for Haliburton to deal with that for a lot of the first half.
And he was advancing the ball. So like sometimes they get the rebound outlet to Haliburton. He would just get it ahead just to try to get some pace going. But other times he'll push the ball, but he was passing ahead a lot. Let's see. Here we got another one here. Jason, what player would you compare Haliburton to? I don't know. I mean, I don't love comparisons. He said, I understand I wasn't comparing him to Ori. I was saying that Ori has some of the greatest moments in the history of NBA basketball, but no one would call him a superstar. But I feel like Haliburton is a Diet Jason Kidd.
Yeah, someone said Steve Nash on TV yesterday. I think it was Richard Jefferson who said that. I don't know if it's accurate, but
yeah. Another text, Fox would have scored 40 last night. Might have. But again, it gets back to like SGA had 38. I'm sure he wished he would have had 40 because that probably would have been the back-breaking bucket that would have forced the Pacers into a three, maybe the Thunder foul. But he missed. There was a big moment for SGA. You also have to be, I think that the one thing I will say, and this is a huge compliment to Tyrese Haliburton, I think we have seen, and like players like LeBron gets knocked for this. I actually give him more credit for this. I think LeBron, more times than not, will make the right play. Like he will pass up not even necessarily an open shot, but at the end of a game where Kobe's taking it, like he's going to take the shot. LeBron will pass it if it's the right play. He'll take it too if it's the right play, but he'll pass it to someone that's open. You're like, yeah, we left that player open for a reason. Yeah, well, he's open. I'm going to trust my teammate. Haliburton's not afraid. Like, he's made all of them, but he's not afraid. There's some risk there that if you miss the shot, he's like, all right, we put ourselves in a spot. The guy who's made more of these clutch shots this year than anybody just missed it. Well, he made it, and he's the hero for it, and it takes a lot of guts to do it, and he did. Some guys aren't willing to do it. Tyrese definitely is willing, and he made the biggest shot of the game. All right, when we come back, we've got what to watch tonight. Celebrity birthdays coming up. It's still Friday fun and games. Before we do that, though, I do want to pay this off. I got carried away there. The former Kings coaches that are the lead candidates, or some of the lead candidates, according to the New York Post. We know about Michael Malone, but how about now being mentioned Luke Walton and Mike Brown as head coaches for the New York Knicks? They feel like they need the coach to get them over the top. Michael Malone's won a championship. Mike Brown's coached very good teams. Luke Walton helped that Warrior team coach here too. But it's interesting now you have three former Kings guys that are some of the lead candidates for the job for the New York Knicks. All right, we come back with what to watch and celebrity birthdays. That is next.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-566-1649. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-566-1649. That's 800-566-1649. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
An Australian hiker travels to the American West to walk a wilderness trail.
Wasn't afraid to be out on his own.
But Eric Robinson vanished in the high Uinta Mountains.
I remember thinking, Eric, what were you thinking, mate?
I'm Dave Cawley. Join me on my podcast, Uinta Triangle, where I travel the world to answer the question, what happened to Eric Robinson? Follow Uinta Triangle. That's UINTA Triangle on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
All right, back here on the show, final half hour of this Friday of the week. Coming up at 10, it will be Alan Stiles. He'll be in here in our next segment for Friday Fun and Games. We will have celebrity birthdays here in a moment. We got to give you what to watch for today. You've got the A's continuing their homestand, the Baltimore Orioles, and Jackson Holiday. How do we not get Jackson Holiday on the show? They will be in town. The Giants will be hosting the Braves for a weekend set. You can also check out the Women's Softball National Championship. Final game. Winner wins it all. Texas Tech. Been watching a lot of college softball. It's fun. Very enjoyable. A lot of cheering going on. A lot of drama. Good drama last night. 4-3 win for Texas Tech to keep this series alive. It is time, though, right now to guess our celebrity birthdays. And birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends. And nothing brings family and friends together better than crumble cookies. We have Kyle Ledbetter. I like to change the emphasis on that.
Is it Kyle?
It's Kyle or Kyle?
Kyle.
Kyle. I always had that wrong.
Yeah.
Kyle Ledbetter in studio. Anthony Lucas, ready? You guys ready?
Yep.
I'm ready. Me and Anthony one-on-one for the first time.
Vegas has the experience of Kyle Ledbetter as the favorite for this.
Oh.
You've participated in more, but slight odds. It's not OKC versus Indiana. You're a slight favorite.
I would say the odds change only if on this day last year I filled in for you and Verlad and I had to make the celebrity birthdays.
I get nervous with these because I don't know if you guys are going to know everybody. But that also makes it fun.
Oh, that's another funny thing. It's the Gen Z celebrity birthday battle.
Yeah, I'm going to go off if they sound old.
Okay. Oh, this will be good.
I have done that before.
I don't know whether to give hints. And sometimes I could just tell, like, if people know, and they're like, oh, I'll let you guess first. And so they're trying to get a range. You know?
Yeah, but this time there's a good chance.
Equal footing.
This time we both might not know.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, on this date, which is June 6th, what year did the television show Sex and the City debut? Did either of you ever watch it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's on Netflix now. So there you go.
So you got some experience
Yeah.
here.
Miranda and
There you go.
the others.
Yeah, Miranda and Others. That was the other title, Miranda and the Others.
Yeah.
But they went with Sex and the City.
I will say 2002.
I think it's like 95.
Oh, okay.
Anthony wins barely, 1998.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, by a year. How about the movie Skadoosh? Kung Fu Panda. The first one. When did that come out?
Classic.
Jack Black in his finest.
2000. God, let's say it's either 7 or 8. I'm going to go 8.
I think it's 9.
Okay. We have a correct answer. Kyle Ledbetter, 2008. There you go. Now let's get to the birthdays. Celebrating their birthday. I'm not going to give a hint yet on who this is, but because I'm going to see if you guys know. Happy birthday to Robert England. Do you know who that is?
No.
What's a guess? Tell me, Kyle, what does Robert England do?
Robert England is a soccer player.
Okay. Anthony?
He's a British news reporter.
Okay. That's why we have him in celebrity birthdays. Robert England, here's now the hint, is played the character of Freddy Krueger.
Oh.
From Nightmare on Elm Street.
I love how we both did the same thing. His name is England, so we just went soccer player and British broadcaster.
How old do you think Freddy Krueger, Robert England is turning?
70?
65.
Kyle's closer, 78.
Ooh, wow. When did that movie come out?
Now you're asking me tough questions.
Yeah, all right.
That's a Chris Verlad question.
Yeah, Chris would definitely know within the minute, probably. Happy birthday to, I think you guys are going to know who this is, Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
Oh, The Holdovers.
There you go. One of his more recent films.
He's also the guy who was Albert Einstein in those weird Verizon commercials.
He was, yeah.
Even though you didn't need Albert Einstein. Anyways, Paul Giamatti is 66 today.
I'm going to go 65.
And you know his father was Bart Giamatti, the former baseball commissioner.
Oh, the Pete Rose guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
What were your guesses again? Sorry.
66. And
I said 65.
Anthony's closer. He's 58.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what they say about Giamattis?
What?
They're older than they look, unless you're Bart.
Happy birthday to DeAndre Hopkins.
Apparently he's a Raven now.
Nevermore.
32.
I was going to say that. I'm going to go 33.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Anthony Lucas, 33
right.
for DeAndre Hopkins. Happy birthday to one of the quarterbacks in the Cleveland camp, Kenny Pickett.
2 gloves.
Yeah, Kenny 2 gloves.
Small hands. You know what they say about small hands.
Big heart.
Kenny Pickett is 27.
I'm going to say 25.
We have another correct answer, and this time it goes to, is it Kyle?
It's Kyle.
Kyle Ledbetter.
Yeah,
27 for Kenny Pickett.
He was one of those guys who was in college for 80 years.
Yeah, he was, and he's now a rookie. Happy birthday to Anthony Rendon. Representing the Anthonys, Anthony.
All right.
Yeah, the worst contract in baseball. Alan would have a lot to say about Anthony Rendon if he were here right now. I'm going to say 31.
I'm going to go 32.
Anthony is closer. Representing the Anthonys, he's 35.
Wow.
Baseball players are always older than I think.
There you go. Happy birthday to former Giant reliever, not closer, but part of their World Series runs, Jeremy Affeldt.
I think he might have pitched right before Bumgarner came in 2014. I might be wrong, though. He is 40. Now Anthony's got me thinking he's older than I think he is. I'll go, stick to your gut, 42.
I'm going to keep going older. I'm going to say 45.
Anthony's closer, 46. And the last one on our celebrity birthdays, former coach of the Vikings? Yeah, Mike Zimmer.
Oh, yeah. Is he
a coordinator?
Is he with Dion for a minute?
I don't know.
I think he was at
Colorado?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But Mike Zimmer is how old today?
60 on the nose. I'll go big 6-0.
Okay. I'm going to go 58.
Kyle's closer. Happy 69th birthday.
69?
Yeah,
wow.
Mike Zimmer.
You know what they say about Zimmers?
Football players go lower. I mean, football coaches go lower, baseball higher. That's
there you
the
go.
rule.
All right, there you go. Happy birthday to each and every one of them. And thank you again to Crumble Cookies. Break time for us. When we come back, Alan Stiles will be joining us, and we'll see how the guys do with today's version of Friday Fun and Games. We got that in store for you next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Summer's almost here, and so are popsicles, pool days, and a lot of smiling. Make sure your kiddo's smile is ready with a visit to Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics. Our expert team makes dental visits easy and fun with sensory-friendly hours for kids who need a calmer environment. We can also accommodate same-day treatments. And to save you time, if your child needs multiple treatments, we can often do them all at once. Appointments fill up fast, so don't wait. Beat the summer rush and schedule online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, where healthy, happy smiles begin.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
We have finally made it to Friday.
Let's end your week the right way with Friday Fun and Games
On the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Yeah. Woo! There's the bell. Oh, sorry, Alan. I screwed you up there. Nope. All right. We are here. Friday Fun and Games time. Alan Stiles in studio. What's up, Alan?
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm outstanding.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
What you got coming up today?
Well, that guy out there in Indiana, Tyrese Haliburton.
Yeah.
But we're going to do our best, Jason, because we've done this thing so many times, so many different times. This is different because it's the finals, but I guess the reality is, and I'm going to sound like Dave in this situation, just make it as bad as possible so the Kings just remember this. Not fans, obviously, but so ownership, everyone, again, doesn't necessarily remember the decision to move Tyrese, but remember how much you butchered everything. Remember that the guy that you quote unquote chose is also not on the team. Just remember that moving forward. So you might as well just win
Keep
the
going.
whole dang on thing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Did you have a pick? Probably the Thunder.
I had, you know what? I kind of got bullied into it by everybody else. I don't think I had the stones to pick the Pacers. Don't get me wrong. I had Thunder in 6. So I'm looking good right now. Because this roundtable, nobody had them going more than 5. And it still might not go more than 5, but I'm looking good right now.
Yeah. At what point did you think they were going to win? Or did you ever think they were going to win until they went ahead? I never thought they would until he made the shot.
Did you see the kind of compilation of all of the comebacks that the Pacers have had? I mean, it's insane. I guess, that 2-minute drill, man. It's not football, but the 2-minute drill has been crazy for the Pacers. And, I'm sure you talked about it. We'll talk about it, too. The Dagnall, Casey Wallace, smartest guy in the room.
Yeah, overthought it.
Just do what you got to do. Kyle and I were talking about they're going to have Miles Turner is not a traditional big. You got Chet and Hartenstein. It's going to be tough. And then I turned it on because I was watching college softball as well. I had it on on my laptop. Neither big is playing at the end of the game either.
Yeah,
it's just okay.
And Turner was out. They all were playing small, and they got out rebounded by 17.
Right.
Wallace, again, for what it's worth, I have this box score here for you, but worst plus minus was Wallace, minus 13.
Weird.
Yeah.
More Isaiah Joe.
Give me more Joe. All right, so that's all coming up today. You got a good weekend plan, too?
Yes, I was joking with everyone that I thought this weekend was Father's Day, so I stayed up till midnight last weekend trying to lock down a tea time once they released, and then I realized that it wasn't.
Golf 2 weekends in a row.
Well, no, I'm not going because it's not, but now I have to stay up.
So you get clearance to golf because it's Father's Day, but not this weekend.
I don't, we're going, actually, we're going to a little birthday party. We're starting to meet some friends out here.
In the toe?
In the toe,
okay.
And now you know.
All right.
That's right.
Well, enjoy.
Thank you so much.
You guys ready for a little Friday Fun and Games?
Let's do it.
Let's see how we do. We got some music. There's my favorite music bed. We got a finals edition of Friday Fun and Games. So I made a little chicken scratch here. We're back to finish the list. So I got a list here, and we're going to see if you can all, between the three of you, finish the list. And so, Alan, we'll start with you, then we'll go to Kyle, then we'll go to Anthony. And if you're wrong, you're out. The rest of the group will try to finish the list. I think we're starting easy, I hope.
Okay.
Since 2010, 10 teams have won an NBA Finals. Alan, give us one.
Oh. The Warriors.
Okay, they have the most. That's 4. Kyle?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, they only have 1, but that's all you needed. Anthony?
The Celtics.
The Celtics, they only have measly one. Alan?
The Lakers.
They have two.
Wait. How long is this?
Since 2010.
The Kobe one.
Oh, yeah.
The Kobe one and the bubble.
That's right.
The Dallas Mavericks.
They have one.
The Cavs.
They have one. Okay. So we've knocked out 6 of the 10.
Not one. Not two. The Miami Heat.
Just 2. There you go. Now everyone else is a single champion.
I just realized they've played in like 6. That's crazy. Denver Nuggets.
That's one. We're doing a good job, guys. We have 2 left to complete the list.
I'm going to mess this up.
That's all right.
Did the Spurs win?
Anthony got one.
Dang
Oh,
We have
was
one
really
left.
hoping
Can we
for
finish the list without a strike?
Did somebody say the one in Dallas?
They did. Is that your guess?
Yeah, he's a loser
He's
over
out.
here.
You're out.
Oh, no, I didn't. That wasn't
That
official.
counts.
Kyle wants to.
Then
Me,
Kyle,
me
then
and
you better know
Anthony.
it then.
And Anthony know this one.
Yeah.
Give us. You want to say it?
Sure. Yeah. No, you go ahead.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Our favorite player, Kawhi Leonard, and the Toronto
Oh,
Raptors.
block that one
This
out.
is the Warriors.
Well, look, I mean, KD's injured. Clay goes down. Give me a break.
Not counting it.
One of the
No.
best playoff runs of all time by Kawhi, by the way.
We need to talk more about that championship having an asterisk, right?
No,
No, we don't.
Kawhi was awesome.
He won it for a country.
For the 6.
Yeah.
All right.
Let Canada have it.
What's next?
All right. What's next? All right. Well, 8 teams since 2010 have lost in the championship.
Oh, yeah.
Alan, we'll start with you. Start the list.
Warriors.
Warriors, they did lose.
Oh,
Twice.
to Kawhi.
Well,
And
Fred VanVleet.
Well, in
Fred VanVleet.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So there's one.
Well,
One
I'll,
of the 8.
I'll take that team, the Cavaliers.
They've lost 3 times in that stretch.
The Mavericks.
The Mavericks lost last year. That's 3 of the 8.
Suns in 4.
Suns in 4. Where's that guy today?
I don't know. He's working for Matt Ishbia.
He got some partnership with a local brewery. I remember
Good
that.
for him.
We got half the list.
Well,
Oh,
I
no
just
strikes.
learned this one like 4 times, the Miami Heat.
Yep, 4 times. Losers since 2010. There's 5 of the 8.
Did anybody say Celtics?
Oh, well, you did. You jumped the turn.
Oh,
You'll
sorry,
take it.
Anthony.
Yes, Celtics.
All right, no, you got
There you
another one?
go.
Okay, Anthony said Celtics.
Oh, we're giving that.
I'm
okay.
taking it, yeah.
All right.
So,
So you.
Okay.
2 left. We've got the Heat, Cavs, Warriors, Celtics, Suns, and Mavericks. 2 left.
The Heat.
I
we
said that.
Alan's
Jesus.
out again. Alan's having trouble with the rules.
He is Dave.
Yeah, he is. All right. Kyle.
Let's see who else lost.
You're out of the
let's
game.
chill.
You're
Let's
from the
chill for a
penalty
second.
box.
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Correct.
What's the time frame again?
Since 2010. One last team.
2010. Who lost? Oh, this is bad.
They
So,
lost
like Orlando?
in a really heartbreaking way. No, not Orlando.
That was
It's up
1
to
year
you.
before.
Wow.
I think I know. Could you just run by real quick just to make sure? I think I
Heat,
know. Who.
Cavs, Warriors, Celtics, Thunder, Suns, Mavericks.
Oh yes. Okay. So the last one is the Ray Allen shot on the San Antonio
Yeah, that-
Spurs.
There you go.
I asked the same thing. You disqualified me.
Well, then you said a team.
All right, here we go. Next one. Next category. Alan, you start us off again. I think we may have done this one before, but we'll see how well we remember. Longest active playoff droughts in the NBA right now. There's 7 teams with 3 seasons or more of missing the playoffs. Currently, 3 seasons or
Just
more.
take the easy one.
Well, let's see here. Would it be the Blazers?
Blazers have 4 consecutive years of missing the playoffs.
Charlotte Hornets.
They have the most at 9.
Utah.
Utah is at 3, one of the teams with 3. So we've got 3 of the 7.
The Wizzy Wizards.
They've missed 4 times in a row.
The San Antonio Spurs.
They have the second most, 6. So now we have the other 2 teams that have missed 3 years in a row.
I was gonna say the Spurs. Who's missed 3 years in a row? What's? Oh man, I'm just gonna say a team.
Throw it out there.
I need to think.
You're
Yeah,
out.
Orlando. I made it.
No.
They just made it. I just
Anthony
said
is
Orlando
out.
earlier.
I'm going to say this team after that Fugazi championship did nothing. The Raptors.
That's one of them. So we have 1 team left, Kyle.
How'd I forget about that?
To stay alive, to keep the list going. Can you complete the list? Anthony is out. Alan's still in.
What have we said so far?
You just got to go.
God, I know it's not them, but I can't think of who it is. Brooklyn.
Nope. You're our last hope.
Right. It's
Complete
not
the list.
It's not Brooklyn because it is. That team just. Well, let me pull up this.
Just throwing out. Last one.
Right. So last one. The Magic? No, the Magic.
He just said
that. We love saying the Magic.
All right. It was actually, this is a little tricky because they've been in the play-in, but Chicago Bulls.
Oh.
All right. Now, there are 5 teams that have made the playoffs 4 years in a row or more.
Okay.
Alan, start us off.
Dub Nation.
Alan is out.
Yeah. Jesus. You were just not in the playoffs last year.
Oh, that's
Teams
right.
eliminated now in the play-in.
As he said, 4 years in a row?
4 years in a row or more.
The Boston Celtics.
They are number 1 with 11 years in a row.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
After the Warriors.
The Cavs.
The Cavs are not on the
What?
list.
When
Yeah.
did what? 4 years?
Yeah.
All right.
3.
All right,
Phone a
Kyle,
friend.
go ahead.
Okay, so
Kyle to try to finish the list.
the Milwaukee Bucks.
Number 2 at 9 in a row.
The Miami Heat.
Number 4 at 6 in a row. So we have a team at 7 and 4.
7 and 4. Okay, so 7 would have to be.
Eastern Conference. Oh, wait.
I just got to think of I just got to go through the playoff teams, right? Okay, so.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Complete the list.
Oh no, not them.
All right, I'm going to help you. West. Both are West.
Oh, both West?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's easy. Denver?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're 7 years.
Okay.
And the last one at 4 years in a row.
then 4 years in a row would be the Clippers.
Incorrect. Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh,
All right,
dang it.
let's complete this list. All
All
right,
right,
since
this is the one.
2000, there are 4 players that have scored 45 points or more in a finals game. 4 players. SGA may do this in this finals. Alan, can you name one of the 4 since 2000?
I'm sorry, guys. I got to take the easy one. Giannis.
Giannis scored 50. Correct.
That was a good one.
There's 3 more.
Allen Iverson.
He scored 48. That's 2 of the 4.
It scored 40 or more.
45 or more in a finals game
45.
since 2000.
There's
2 left.
Since 2000. Like, I'm just Kobe.
Incorrect.
Yeah. LeBron's not a scorer, so it can't be LeBron. Right. I'm saying, I don't know. I'm probably out, but I'm going to say KD.
You're out.
Okay, I think I know the 2, and
All
they
right.
were both in losses.
Okay.
So one is LeBron in the
Correct.
J.R. Smith
51.
game. Yeah, the one where J.R. Smith forgot how
Okay.
much time was on the clock.
Can you
And the
complete
last
list?
one is Steph against the Raptors.
47 points, Steph Curry.
Wow,
Look at
we
that.
did it.
Okay, let's see. We have 2 more lists to go. Okay,
We.
this one's going to be interesting. I'll start with you, Alan. There is 1 player since 2000 to have 20 rebounds or more in a game. 1. Complete
finals
a very
game?
short list in the finals game. 1 player.
Giannis.
No.
Clint Capella.
No.
I don't even know what the question was. I'm going to say Kobe again.
No.
Okay, Shaq. Shaq had 24
Oh,
rebounds.
that
Last one,
dude.
really fast. Okay, there are 3 players since 2000 in a finals game to have 14 or more assists in a game. Tyrese might be able to do it, but 3 have done it since 2000. 14 or more assists in a finals game.
CP3.
Nope.
LeBron James.
Yes, he's one of them.
Jason Kidd.
Nope. You got any other guesses?
Jokic.
Yes.
Oh.
The last one. You got the 2 at 14. Someone did it 16 assists.
I didn't think I'd get here.
Good luck if you get it. Did it for the
Derek
Celtics.
Fisher. Oh, okay.
Rondo.
Ah.
There you go. Good job, guys. Well
Great
done.
job, guys. Great job, Kyle.
Alan, have a great show.
Thank you. You have a great weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you to Anthony Lucas, Carmichael Dave as well. Thank you to Kyle and to Alan. Alan Style Show coming your way next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports